Chapter 1. Jade Palace is located in a remote area of Heavenly Dragon Empire, built on a snowy mountain. With hundreds of years of heritage, in the entire Heavenly Dragon Empire, it can only belong to the middle and lower sect. There are nearly 1,000 disciples in Jade Palace, most of them are female disciples, each of them is as beautiful as a flower. There are so many female disciples, even if it is snowing here, there are no plants, they are like a beautiful flower, blooming in this snow, forming a beautiful scenery. Although the power of Jade Palace is average, there are many women here, it is a good place for many sects to choose a Tao companion. At this time, in this heavy snow, many female disciples in the martial arts field, holding a long sword to practice martial arts, the sound of martial arts training resounded throughout the entire Jade Palace, like playing a moving music. With this neat and powerful slogan, it seems that the winter is not so cold. At the same time, in a courtyard of Jade Palace, a pale young man, waving a wooden spear in his hand, constantly stabbing forward madly. Every stab seemed to drain him of all his strength, releasing all of it. When the falling snowflakes fell, under his fierce stab, the snowflakes turned into countless white spots, scattered around. After waving it around a few times, it stopped and looked up at the sky. In a trance, his thoughts shifted to the memory of his previous life. His name is Yi Tianyun, he is a video game fan. One day in the middle of a thunderstorm night, suddenly thunder, a lightning struck down, and he lost consciousness. At the last moment, he felt that he was going to die, being hit by such a terrible thunder, it would be strange if he can survive. When he came back to his senses again, he was in this place, a bunch of strange memories popped up in his head. The owner of this body died because his body was too weak, and eventually died from excessive cultivation. He is still doing this. Because if he doesn't do this, he knows that he won't last long, his body is too weak. Is there no other way? His face is pale, his body is thin, he doesn't look like a cultivator, but as fragile as a girl, it seems that he will break with a touch, it seems so fragile. Go! With a loud shout, he thrust forward with all his might. A cyclone pierced out from the tip of the spear, and the pile of snow in front of him was dispersed, turning back into countless snowflakes that slowly fell from the sky. It was so beautiful. However, his pale skin was not much worse than the snowflakes. His skin was terrifyingly pale, lacking any blood energy. This was a great taboo for martial artists. Martial artists without blood chi were not only destined to not live long, but it was also impossible for them to cultivate to a very strong level. This was like having no blood. How could one live? The young man in front of him was just like that. His face was pale and without any vigor, as if he could die young at any moment. Practicing martial arts in this state was like stepping into a coffin in advance. Therefore, he could only be considered to be training at most, not practicing martial arts. Cough, cough, cough. His face suddenly turned red, and a rare hint of color returned to his face. His violent coughing made him kneel down. How could he be a martial artist? He was just a sickly invalid. He had cultivated too much just now, and his body couldn't take it anymore. Hey, young master, why did you come out to cultivate again? You will hurt yourself. At this time, a maid ran out of the palace and looked at the young man who kept coughing. Her beautiful eyes showed a look of blame, but more than that, there was concern. She hurriedly took a piece of clothing from the side and put it on the young man. Because he was practicing martial arts, he didn't wear any clothes. In such cold weather, he was still wearing such thin clothes. He was either a lunatic or he didn't want to live anymore. Sister Xiao Lian, I'm fine, I just want to move my lower body bones. Yi Tianyun held back his cough and squeezed out a smile from his pale face to express that he was fine. His other identity is the young master of Jade Palace. The current palace master of Jade Palace is his aunt, but not his biological aunt. His mother gave him to his sister to raise, and his whereabouts are still unknown. He stood up and didn't need Xiao Lian's support to prove that he was fine. Xiao Lian looked up and down at him, and when she confirmed that Yi Tianyun was fine, she was a little relieved. She immediately said, "Palace master asked me to take you to the main hall. I looked for you for a long time, but I couldn't find you. Sure enough, you are practicing martial arts here. Young master, I know you want to practice martial arts, but with your current condition, if you continue to practice." At the end of her sentence, Xiao Lian didn't dare to continue. She wanted to say something but stopped. If I continue to practice, the result will be death, right? Yi Tianyun smiled indifferently. There is an indescribable free and easy feeling. I always know this. There is no blood qi in my body. A martial artist without blood qi is not worthy of cultivation. But I don't want to end like this. I don't believe that God is so heartless. His talent is not bad, but there is no blood qi. This is a big problem. No matter how strong his talent is, in the case of no blood qi, he will die. What's the use of talent? Young master. Xiao Lian's eyes are red. She is a few years older than Yi Tianyun. It can be said that she watched Yi Tianyun grow up. If he died like this, she will be sad for the rest of her life. Don't say much. Let's hurry to the main hall. I don't know why Aunt is looking for me. Yi Tianyun threw the long spear to the side, accurately fell on the side of the weapon rack, and stepped into the palace. When he stepped into this palace, it is much warmer inside. As soon as he came in, he saw the eyes of the people around him. All of them are women, all of them are female disciples. This can be described as a man's paradise. Many disciples outside want to join, but not everyone is recruited. Only a small number of male outer disciples are recruited. Most of the female disciples are recruited. The female disciples outside looked at him with eyes full of disgust and dissatisfaction. They are disgusted and dissatisfied with Yi Tianyun, in addition to the fact that he is a waste who will die at any time, and the other reason is that he is the son of the previous palace lord. Jade Palace has a clear rule. The current palace lord is absolutely not allowed to marry and have children. Yi Tianyun's mother violated the rule. After giving birth to him, she ran away with that man. If it wasn't for his aunt, Yi Tianyun would have been thrown out of the palace instead of staying here. Sister Xiao Lian calls him young master, but other people will not call him young master. They don't even greet him. They call Yi Tianyun waste, or bastard. In the face of this situation, Yi Tianyun is expressionless, but his heart has long been cold. He has already admitted this fact. Every time he felt their contemptuous eyes, he clenched his fists, feeling extremely angry, but he can't change this fact. Many times he wanted to escape from here, but when he thought of his aunt, he couldn't bear to leave. Tianyun, you finally came. Did you secretly practice martial arts again? With a burst of shouting, a petite and beautiful girl came over here. She is about 20 years old, not much older than him. When she came over, the surrounding female disciples bowed their heads and respectfully shouted, Palace Lord. The girl who came is Yi Tianyun's aunt, Shueyun. She is young, but became the Palace Lord of Jade Palace. The reason why she can become the Palace Lord is because of her amazing talent. In her 20s, her cultivation has reached core condensation realm. One must know that at this age, the average cultivation is only at spirit refinement realm. Aunt. Yi Tianyun looked at Shueyun, who came over angrily, and smiled. In the entire Jade Palace, the one who cares about him the most is Shueyun. Seeing her, Yi Tianyun felt very warm. When he first came to this world, he felt very confused. These years, Shueyun has been accompanying him, caring about him, and let him accept this fact. After all, accepting the previous memories doesn't mean that he has a sense of belonging. The sense of belonging is cultivated, not something that can be cultivated in a few days. No one cares about him more than her, meticulously, always asking about his well-being. Let him have a real feeling. Looking at this beautiful face, for a time, he remembered the things that happened a few years ago. Shueyun is like his sister. She has been raising him. Usually when he cultivates, she will take him with her. No one will bully him. Even the elders of Jade Palace, Shueyun dares to contradict those elders for his own sake. If it weren't for Shueyun's amazing talent, those elders really don't want him to stay. Forget about the bastard left by the previous palace lord. The key is that he can't cultivate. It should be said that he can cultivate, but if he continues to cultivate, he will die. What's the difference between him and trash? Boom. Shueyun reached out and gently knocked his head, wrinkled her pretty nose and said, I don't blame you for cultivating, but you can't go too far, or you will regret it. After saying that, she took out a box from her bosom. After gently opening it, a strong blood qi came from the jade box. After the surrounding disciples saw it, they couldn't help but exclaim, and immediately looked at her with jealousy and envy, but they can't do anything about it. Who told this trash to be a relative of Palace Lord? Shueyun specially went outside to get this. As long as she doesn't abuse her power to transfer the pill from Jade Palace to Yi Tianyun, it's not against the rules to give it to him through other channels. This is Dragon Blood Divine Pill. Yi Tianyun was shocked when he saw this Dragon Blood Divine Pill. This thing is quite precious, it can replenish a lot of blood qi. He didn't expect that Shueyun will get it, it must cost a lot. Yes, this is Dragon Blood Divine Pill, you take it back, it should be able to greatly improve the blood qi in your body. Shueyun smiled softly, she doesn't care about the value of this Dragon Blood Divine Pill, she just wants Yi Tianyun to feel better. But Yi Tianyun's eyes are red, he feels very sad. Over the years, his aunt has been looking for a lot of medicinal pills to increase blood qi, but the effect is not great for him, it can let him live for a few more years. This time is the same, she also found a more precious Dragon Blood Divine Pill. There is no but, take good care of your body, that is the greatest reward for me, understand? Don't think too much. Shueyun reached out and pinched his pale face, a little bit like a naughty girl. Yes. Yi Tianyun nodded heavily, he knows what he needs to do now, recovering his body is the best reward. Palace Lord, Spirit Sect is here. At this time, a disciple hurriedly came in from outside and reported. The Spirit Sect is here. Shueyun frowned, a bit of killing intent flashed in her eyes. The attitude towards Yi Tianyun is like heaven and earth, she completely has the aura of a palace lord. Immediately, she smiled at Yi Tianyun and said, Aunt will go deal with some things first, you have a good rest. Sister Xiaolian also nodded at him, she also has to go deal with these things, this is the top priority. Yes, I know. Yi Tianyun nodded, looking at the back of Shueyun leaving, he clenched his fists, but he can't help. Spirit Sect came here to threaten them, to fight for the quota to enter the historical site. He knew all these things, but he can't help. I have to take this Dragon Blood Divine Pill, see if it can help me recover some blood qi. Yi Tianyun put away the Dragon Blood Divine Pill, turned around and walked to his room. When he just walked out of the courtyard, 3 figures stopped in front of him. Our young master, can you let us consume the Dragon Blood Divine Pill? Recently we are still a little bit away from breaking through, give us the pill, it has no effect on you, it's better to give it to us. That's right, it's better to give it to us. After giving it to us, we will go down the mountain together, we will take you to see the world. Yes, it has no effect on you, it's better to give it to us. The 3 in front of them are all recruited male disciples, in fact, they are forced in by outside sect, they are not Jade Palace disciples at all. Listening to their tone, they completely regard Yi Tianyun as a waste, they haven't been here for a long time, but they know that Yi Tianyun is a waste standing behind a woman. Chapter 2. What if I say no? Yi Tianyun looked at them coldly, these people are just here to eat and drink, Jade Palace is limited by outside forces, they can only accept male disciples who are forced to come in. To put it bluntly, these male disciples have bad intentions, they are here to find a Dao companion. But according to the rules, they can only be regarded as outer disciple, but they can move around here. When he saw Shueyun give him Dragon Blood Divine Pill, his heart suddenly became a bit greedy. This is the best pill, the price is not cheap. If they take it, they will be able to break through further and reach a higher level. You don't want to give? Fang Chen's eyes are cold, contemptuous smile. Don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit, don't think that with Palace Lord backing you, you can live in peace. We are from Spirit Sect, our elders are outside, even if I beat you up, your aunt won't dare to do anything to us. Spirit Sect is relatively strong, in this continent, the forces are divided into 5 major levels. The first level is the palace, the second level is the sect, the third level is the mansion, the fourth level is the empire, and the fifth level is the divine kingdom. Jade Palace is naturally under Spirit Sect, mainly to recruit female disciples, so the number is naturally a little less, but the overall strength is not weak. However, their overall strength was still weaker than that of the Celestial Spirit Sect, so they were suppressed. Yes, I gave you a little face, you are just a waste, a bastard, and you dare to be rude to us. Zhao Hao followed with a smile, he looks down on Yi Tianyun, he feels that he is almost at the same level as the garbage next to him. Do you want to die? Yi Tianyun's voice is terrible, his eyes flashed with killing intent. Whenever someone calls him a bastard, he is extremely angry, but these outer disciple trash, calling him that is different. Killing intent instantly surged out, feeling extremely angry. Oh, still so tough. It seems that you really think that with your aunt around you are not afraid of anything. Isn't he just a gigolo who lives off a woman? Trash. Fang Chen burst out laughing. His laughter was filled with mockery. This matter spread outside, that is the palace lord of Jade Palace, raising a waist. Either get lost or lie down. A cold glint flashed across Yi Tianyun's eyes. He clenched his fists so tightly that his pale skin turned a little red. He could disregard his own reputation, but he had to take his aunt's reputation into consideration. Damn it, I think you're tired of living. How dare you talk to me like this? Beat him up. Fang Chen scolded angrily. He quickly rushed over and waved his fist at Yi Tianyun. Fang Chen's cultivation was not high, but he was at the 4th level of the body refinement stage. The disciples with low cultivation in Jade Palace are generally at the 3rd level. This Fang Chen's level is still below average. Naturally, his fists are not easy to deal with. In Yi Tianyun's eyes, this punch was rather slow. When he raised his head, a frightening cold light burst forth. Fang Chen's incoming fist seemed to have become even slower. Countless dodging methods and even counterattacking methods rapidly appeared in his mind. Fang Chen's attack was full of flaws. Although he didn't cultivate much, he had studied combat techniques. Phew. His eyes flashed, and he gently moved to the side, making Fang Chen's attack miss. Because he had just cultivated too much, he just dodged a little. He felt that his body's center of gravity was unstable, and there was a feeling of exhaustion. His feet softened, and he fell to the side. When he fell to the ground, everyone stared blankly for a moment before bursting into laughter. Waste is waste, you just moved and you fell. This dragon blood divine pill is in your arms, right? Then give it to us. Fang Chen laughed and reached out to grab it in his arms. Yi Tianyun's eyes were cold. He knew that he couldn't escape. He quickly took out the dragon blood divine pill in his body, stuffed it into his mouth, and swallowed it without chewing. This scene made them dumbfounded. A dragon blood divine pill was eaten by a dog just like that. How dare you eat my dragon blood divine pill? You're courting death. Kill him for me. Fang Chen was angry. He thought he could get this dragon blood divine pill, but he didn't expect it to be eaten by Yi Tianyun. For a time, the 3 people rushed over and were ready to punch and kick him. At this moment, a crisp ding sound rang out in his mind. Congratulations to the player Yi Tianyun for successfully activating the crazy level up system. Player Yi Tianyun for gaining 1000 experience points. Congratulations to the player Yi Tianyun for leveling up and reaching the 1st level of the body refining stage. Congratulations to the player Yi Tianyun for leveling up and reaching the 2nd level of the body refining stage. Congratulations to the player Yi Tianyun for leveling up and reaching the 5th level of the body refining stage. In one breath, he rose 5 levels, from the 1st level of the body refining stage to the 5th level of the body refining stage. Just one dragon blood divine pill could let him rise 5 levels in a row. Crazy level up system? This is a game system. This is simply a game. Yi Tianyun was shocked. As a player, how can he not know what this concept is? At the same time, their fists have greeted him, but at this moment, Yi Tianyun felt that his body is full of strength, no longer in a weak state, but a very strong state. Get out of here. Yi Tianyun's eyes burst with a sharp light, his hands hit the ground, began to spin quickly, sweeping the floor with the power of the 5th level of the body refining stage burst out. Bang bang bang. The 3 people were directly kicked out by him, stuck on the wall. The weaker ones directly vomited blood and fell to the ground. What the hell is going on? This is simply the level of the 5th level of the body refining stage. Isn't he a waste? Fang Chen was dumbfounded. He struggled to climb up. His eyes are full of shock. Yi Tianyun's cultivation is higher than them. Even in the entire Jade Palace he is not very weak. In the body refining stage, he belongs to the middle level. In this world, the level planning is quite clear. There are a total of 8 levels. They are body refining stage, spirit refinement stage, core condensation stage, spirit core stage, core transformation stage, void spirit stage, saint king stage, god king stage. Each level is divided into 10 levels. Shi Xueyun is already a core condensation cultivator at such a young age, which is considered a relatively high level in the first-grade faction, which is enough to show how heaven-defying she is. Yi Tianyun glanced at Fang Chen. The strong murderous intent made Fang Chen's feet soften. He hurriedly kneeled on the ground and cried, "Please let me go, I was wrong, I don't dare to take your pill anymore." At this point, he still can't see anything, then he is a real fool. He didn't expect that a waste is so strong, especially that murderous intent, he doesn't know how to cultivate. And his cultivation has reached the 5th level of the body refining stage. Although it is not a heaven-defying level, at least he is stronger than them. He can only curse in his heart. The rumors outside are false. Who said that this Yi Tianyun is a waste? His cultivation is not high, but at least higher than them. Yi Tianyun slowly walked towards him, his eyes cold. "I said, either get out or lie down, I have already given you a chance." Yi Tianyun's eyes turned cold. Under Fang Chen's horrified gaze, he pulled out the long spear on the side, aiming at Fang Chen's head. He just wanted to knock out Fang Chen, he didn't mean to kill him, otherwise, the Heavenly Spirit sect will definitely find trouble with him. At this moment, Fang Chen roared, "Then go to hell." His other hand quickly took out a dagger, aimed at Yi Tianyun and stabbed, only aiming at the heart. If stabbed, he will die without a doubt. Yi Tianyun suddenly pulled and slammed on the ground. With a bang, Fang Chen was heavily smashed on the ground, almost fainting. Then Yi Tianyun grabbed Fang Chen's hand and pressed it hard on his own chest. With a poochie sound, the dagger sank into his chest, stopping only at the hilt. "You still want to sneak attack me?" Yi Tianyun's eyes were cold, he lifted his foot and kicked fiercely. With a bang sound, Fang Chen was kicked out and slid to the ground. "Poochie." Fang Chen spat out a mouthful of blood, immediately widened his eyes, his face became incomparably black, it looked like there were obvious signs of poisoning. In this dagger, there was obviously a strong poison, plus it was inserted into the heart, it accelerated the flow of venom. The next moment, Fang Chen's eyes widened, and he died. Ding! Congratulations, successfully killed the Heavenly Spirit Sect disciple Fang Chen, gained 300 EXP, 5 crazy point. Ding! Congratulations, obtained human-level lower-grade martial arts eagle claw art, falling feather sword technique, a recovery pill. Yi Tianyun was startled, he didn't expect that after killing Fang Chen, not only will he gain EXP, but also more crazy point. The most important thing is that he will also drop this level of martial arts. This is completely equivalent to dropping treasure. These martial arts are things that Fang Chen learned by himself, and now they are all dropped and fell into his inventory. As expected of the crazy leveling system, it can also drop treasures. It is equivalent to killing monsters to drop treasures. Yi Tianyun was ecstatic, he thought that he could only level up by eating, now it seems that he can also level up by killing monsters. Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for successfully activating the character, gained a novice gift pack, do you want to open it? Yi Tianyun's eyes widened, and immediately his thoughts moved, a property bar appeared in front of him. Player, Yi Tianyun level, 5 EXP, 5 crazy point cultivation technique, none martial arts, eagle claw art, falling feather sword technique divine ability, crazy mode, level 1, item, recovery pill. In addition, there is also the equipment bar, the inventory bar and so on, which made him dumbfounded. This is completely the property of the game. It seems that there are still a lot of things that have not been opened, it seems to be related to the level. Then he thought silently in his heart and opened the novice gift pack. Then appeared in front of the gift pack content, 10 times EXP card, valid for 1 hour, 2 recovery pill, a level 5 novice gift pack. Damn, I am going to be rich. Yi Tianyun suddenly laughed very happily, he knew that he crossed over, but he didn't know what ability he has. He didn't expect to get a leveling system. As long as he leveled up crazily, then his attributes will be crazy strong, what meridians broken, what not suitable for practicing martial arts, it has nothing to do with here. Chapter 3. In addition, Yi Tianyun also noticed that there was an additional crazy mode. After investigating it, the attributes and effects were immediately displayed. There's an additional crazy mode? Yi Tianyun went to investigate this crazy mode, and the attributes and effects were quickly displayed. Crazy mode can enhance any effect by 2 times, including alchemy, taking medicinal pills, attacking, cultivating, gaining experience. everything can be enhanced by 2 times, and it's still a level 1 effect. If I continue to level up crazily, who knows how many times? Yi Tianyun was almost drooling over this crazy mode. This was simply a godly skill. The effects of cultivating and taking could be doubled. This meant that eating 1 pill was equivalent to eating 2 pills. However, when he saw the consumption at the back, his face immediately darkened 1 point per minute. 1 point per minute. He only had 5 points now, and it would be consumed in the blink of an eye. What was there left to use? This was the reward that he could only get by killing Fang Chen. Wasn't this a little too little? Fang Chen is dead. You killed Fang Chen. Zhao Hao, who was next to him, checked and found that Fang Chen was already dead. He suddenly slumped onto the ground. Chapter 4. Shi Xueyun's overbearing attitude let everyone know how high the position of Yi Tianyun is in her heart. For Yi Tianyun, she doesn't hesitate to be the enemy of Spirit Sect. In fact, Shi Xueyun has a sense of propriety. Spirit Sect will never dare to act recklessly. Even if she slaps Zhao Hualong in the face, she will not let the 2 sects enter into a fight. Although the comprehensive strength of Jade Palace is weaker than Spirit Sect, but in terms of connections, Jade Palace is much stronger than Spirit Sect. There are a lot of Jade Palace disciples who are married, even if their status outside is not particularly high, but it is not a problem to bring some people to support. Zhao Hualong knew that his words were a bit harsh, but he had been slapped. How could he let his anger subside like this? He immediately sneered and said, "Palace Lord Shi slapped me. This is undoubtedly a humiliation to me. This is not something that can be resolved with just a few words. If I am not wrong, why don't you let him fight? It's not that I want to embarrass him, but he hurt our disciple, he must give us an explanation, and also slander us for robbing Dragon Blood Divine Pill. Do you think we can't afford Dragon Blood Divine Pill?" He is even angrier. Shi Xueyun slapped him in front of so many people. This humiliation can be imagined. Really? I repeat, I believe that Tianyun will not hit people. It is you who want to rob Dragon Blood Divine Pill. You can afford this pill, but you will not use it on a waste. If you really insist on pushing this mistake to Tianyun, then don't expect me to be polite. Shi Xueyun's momentum has not dissipated, it rose again, anger is boiling in her eyes. There is no doubt that Yi Tianyun will be defeated. The main reason is that his body's blood qi is too weak, causing his physique to be even worse. If he is smashed away, even if he doesn't die, he will be crippled. In any case, Shi Xueyun will not give in, this is her bottom line. Although her momentum is strong enough, Yi Tianyun standing on the side received a lot of supercilious looks. A man standing behind a woman, cowardly and powerless, is equivalent to a gigolo. In this world where martial arts were respected, it was a great humiliation. Yi Tianyun was not a coward, nor was he someone who lived off a woman. He had always wanted to stand out and prove himself. He wanted to prove that he was not a wastrel. He wanted to prove that his aunt had not misjudged him. I will accept this battle, I will participate on behalf of Jade Palace. Yi Tianyun stood up, looking indifferent. He didn't retreat, nor was he timid. At this moment, he boldly stood out. Even if he were to die on the arena, he would still stand out. His gaze was resolute, without the slightest hint of fear. His fearless spirit was far from what his peers could display. As soon as he finished speaking, the system's voice sounded in his head. Defeat the disciple of Spirit Sect and let Jade Palace win this time. Reward, 10,000 experience points, 100 taels of gold, 1x deity armor, common iron. There's a mission. This reward is quite rich. Yi Tianyun was happy, he didn't expect to have such a mission. As long as he can complete it, he will get a lot of rewards, especially EXP. But the treasure he got seems to be too low grade. Whether it's weapons or treasures, they are divided into several levels: common iron, spirit tool, soul tool, holy tool and divine tool. Yi Tianyun's words attracted the attention of the surrounding people. Among them, Zhao Hualong was startled, and the corner of his mouth hooked up into a sneer. This is the smile of success, he finally took the bait. If Shi Xueyun didn't agree, he really can't do anything, but Yi Tianyun finally agreed, then it's a good thing. Fang Chen is just a low-level disciple, if he died then he died, it has nothing to do with their interests. But Fang Yun was really angry. His younger brother is dead, how can he not be angry? Little did he know that his younger brother became a victim, and was immediately used by Zhao Hualong. The female disciple of Jade Palace looked at Yi Tianyun's eyes changed a bit. At least he didn't shut up and didn't speak, but chose to stand up. This is the demeanor of a man. Shi Xueyun hurriedly whispered to him, "Don't talk nonsense, this is not a joke." Her expression is very serious. This is the first time Yi Tianyun saw it. If I don't participate in the battle, then can I still be called a man, even more not worthy of aunt's protection, agree to this competition? Yi Tianyun smiled at her, his eyes are very firm. Shi Xueyun was shocked by Yi Tianyun's eyes. She has never seen such a look in Yi Tianyun's eyes, so eager to win. Immediately she took a deep breath and said to Zhao Hualong, "Well, I agree to this competition." That's good, after half a month, on the martial arts stage. Zhao Hualong sneered. At that time, life and death duel, regardless of life and death. At this time, Yi Tianyun stood up and said coldly, "No problem, only my life and death duel, other sisters' competition can't be calculated according to mine. This is a bit interesting. This is your grudge, of course you can." Zhao Hualong sneered and said to Fang Yun and others, "Let's go." Fang Yun and others were taken away. When Fang Yun left, he looked at Yi Tianyun with resentment. Although he really wants to fight with Yi Tianyun now, this is impossible. With Shi Xueyun standing beside him, it is impossible to kill Yi Tianyun. When they left, the entire Jade Palace is in an uproar. No one is optimistic about Yi Tianyun's victory. In this level of competition, if your cultivation is too low, you will lose, especially Yi Tianyun's lack of blood qi. If the battle is dragged a little, he will definitely lose. In the face of the doubts and dissatisfaction of the entire Jade Palace, Yi Tianyun's expression is still so indifferent. He has already suffered this kind of thing. Today is not the first time. "You can leave." Shi Xueyun waved her hand and said, "Yes, Palace Lord." Many female disciples looked at Yi Tianyun with dissatisfaction and left. This time the result will determine the fate of some spots. They naturally don't want to see it. When everyone left, even Sister Xiaolian left, leaving only the two of them, Shi Xueyun said softly, "When the time comes, don't force yourself, it doesn't matter if you lose, as long as you keep your life, everything is fine." "Aunt, do you believe in me?" Yi Tianyun asked in a firm tone. "Yes." Shi Xueyun nodded without hesitation, but immediately sighed, "But everything has to be done, if your body." Her eyes turned red, this made her feel very sad. Without blood qi pill, it is estimated that Yi Tianyun would have died a long time ago. "I will win." Yi Tianyun grabbed Shi Xueyun's little hand, showing a bright smile. "Even if I die standing, I don't want to live kneeling, let me be willful. I don't want aunt to be criticized again, I don't want aunt to be wronged again." "Silly child, what are you talking about?" Shi Xueyun's eyes are red, tears can't help but fall down. "Silly child, you are not much older than me, you can call me little brother." Yi Tianyun reached out and wiped away her tears, his eyes are filled with unprecedented firmness. Chapter 5. I just got a level 5 gift pack, I haven't opened it yet, I want to see if there are other good things. Yi Tianyun is quite excited, the things in the novice gift pack are more attractive. Among them, the 10 times EXP card is what he needs very much now. Immediately he opened the level 5 gift pack, and soon a message popped up. Lottery wheel function opened, 3 recovery pill, skills absorbing stars great technique dark north divine art, level 11 upgrade gift pack. What the hell, absorbing stars great technique and dark north divine art? Yi Tianyun was shocked by these two martial arts. This is a famous top-notch martial arts. He just reached level 5 and he can get this level of martial arts in the future. What level of martial arts can he get in the future? Immediately he studied the lottery wheel. After he opened it, a huge wheel screen appeared in front of him. There are several types on it, namely, weapon type, armor type, consumption type, skill type, cultivation technique type and divine skill type. Among them, consumption type is the most extensive, almost accounting for more than half. Skill and cultivation technique is a lot smaller, among which the divine skill type is the smallest. If you look at it according to the ratio, it can only be regarded as a ratio of 1 in 10,000, it is simply a fraud. Because you have successfully opened the lottery wheel function, you will be given a free lottery function. Do you want to start the lottery now? The system voice came. Yes. Yi Tianyun did not hesitate. It is a gift anyway. Immediately ding, the lottery wheel rotated crazily. After a while, the wheel slowly slowed down. He saw the pointer pointing to the content, constantly changing. The mood of waiting made him a little anxious. I don't know what kind of treasure will it be. Finally the lottery wheel stopped. The pointer pointed to the weapon type. Yi Tianyun was relieved. Fortunately it did not stop at consumption type. Then a gurgle sound, a boxing glove appeared in the inventory. After a little investigation, he couldn't help but exclaim, Frost Fist. Weapon, Frost Fist grade, common iron, upgradable, function, ice attribute attack, slow down movement speed, consume crazy point, can use special skill, completely freeze the area within 100 meters, causing super deceleration. Looking at this Frost Fist, Yi Tianyun was quite surprised. This thing was a godly item in League of Legends, but now it was in the lottery. This was a divine artifact, but it was only at the level of ordinary iron, the lowest level. In this world, treasures were generally divided into the following categories: common iron, spirit equipment, soul equipment, saint equipment, and divine equipment. However, this thing could be upgraded. In fact, everything could be upgraded. He adjusted the attribute window slightly, and soon, everything appeared in front of him. Player, Yi Tianyun level 5, body refinement stage 5th level, EXP, crazy point, 5 martial arts, dark north divine art, human level, proficiency 0-1000, skills, absorbing stars great skill, human level, proficiency 0-1000, weapon, frost fist, common iron, proficiency 0-1000, divine ability, crazy mode, requires 10,000 crazy point to upgrade. This is all the values required to upgrade. The beginning requires 1000 proficiency, which is nothing, as long as you practice slowly. But what the hell is crazy mode? It requires 10,000 crazy point. It's simply crazy. 10,000 points. He only has 5 points now. He can only get it by killing monsters. He shook his head, feeling that this is too scary. It's simply killing him. I don't know if I can still draw lottery. Yi Tianyun checked the lottery system, and the message that came along with it was the same as before. It requires 1000 crazy point to be able to use the lottery once. Originally, he planned to draw lottery once, but who knows, the normal lottery requires 1000 points. Forget it, I don't care about it for the time being. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed. What I need now is to level up crazily, improve my cultivation, then I can win this duel. Fang Yun's cultivation is at the 7th level of body refinement stage, which is 2 levels higher than him, but his ultimate goal is not this, but to win this duel. Not only to help Jade Palace win this duel, but also to complete the side quest, and get the reward, which is quite amazing for him. Immediately he took the recovery pill that Shueyun gave him before. This pill is quite low level. After taking it, there is no experience at all. Obviously, these pills are too low level to activate the crazy leveling system. No wonder there has been no movement. It turns out that the key to open it is missing. This dragon blood divine pill helps a lot, otherwise he really didn't know that there is an extra system in his body. At night, Yi Tianyun, who was meditating on the ground, suddenly opened his eyes. 2 rays of light burst out, as if it can penetrate people's heart. He gently opened the door. It is already dark outside, the night is deep. After looking around, he found that there is no one around. He quietly left Jade Palace from the back door, and came to the snow mountain behind. In the middle of the night, the cold wind is blowing fiercely. At this time it is blowing even more fiercely, more mournful. Before a gust of cold wind came, he couldn't help but shiver. Now he is wearing thin clothes. There is not the slightest feeling of biting. He ran into the depths of the snow mountain. There is a forest here. Just as he approached, a pair of green eyes emerged from the forest. Then, a second pair appeared, followed by a third pair. As if they had grown out of the ground, pairs of dark green eyes emerged from the snow. When these green eyes came out, it is actually a snow wolf coming out of the forest. Yi Tianyun didn't feel strange at all. Because this is not the first time he came here. He came here several times before, not for anything else, but to hone himself. More importantly, he killed these snow wolves and absorbed the demon beast core, which can replenish his body's blood chi. He doesn't want to rely only on his aunt, he also wants to rely on his own hands to make himself stronger. It's been a long time, old friend. Are you ready today? This time I won't run away like before. Yi Tianyun mobilized the frost fists. Awoo! A group of snow wolves raised their heads and howled, as if they have gone crazy. They pounced at Yi Tianyun from all directions. In the blink of an eye, there are 4 snow wolves, pouncing from all directions, opened their sharp mouths, wanting to tear off Yi Tianyun's head. Good timing. Eagle claw art. Yi Tianyun's eyes are filled with fighting spirit, his arms swelled up, the frost fist in his hand released an even colder aura, slightly slowing down the speed of the snow wolves that are pouncing at him. In the next moment, his palm turned into an eagle claw, grabbing the neck of the snow wolf that is pouncing at him. There is still some distance, but suddenly a strong suction force surged out of his palm, sucking the snow wolf over. In the blink of an eye, the spiritual energy in the snow wolf's body was frantically extracted, flowing into his body. Obtained 1 experience point, 2 experience point, 3 experience point. While fiercely devouring, Yi Tianyun discovered that this can also increase his experience. As expected of crazy leveling system, even if he devours other people's spiritual energy, he can also increase his experience. However, because of the other snow wolves attacking him, he quickly twisted his neck. Kala, the snow wolf's neck was easily twisted, directly dead. Ding, congratulations, successfully killed snow wolf, gained 50 experience point, 3 crazy point. Bang bang bang. Yi Tianyun did not stop, backhand continued to attack the other 3 snow wolves that are pouncing at him. Kala sound, they fell into the snow one after another, dead. Ding, congratulations, successfully killed snow wolf, gained 50 experience point, 3 crazy point. Ding, congratulations, successfully killed snow wolf, gained 50 experience point, 3 crazy point. Ding, congratulations, successfully killed snow wolf, gained 50 experience point, 3 crazy point. The experience is coming, but not a lot. The cultivation of these snow wolves is not high, at most equivalent to the lower level of the first stage. Converted to the cultivation of a normal cultivator, it is only equivalent to the level of the 3rd level of body refinement realm. In the face of the 5th level of body refinement realm Yi Tianyun, how can they withstand? So many snow wolves, I can't waste them. Use 10 times EXP card. Yi Tianyun squinted his eyes and immediately used the 10 times EXP card. Then another group of snow wolves pounced on him. Under Yi Tianyun's fierce punch, the terrifying fist wave swept around, several snow wolves were killed again. At this moment, with him as the center, all the snow within 5 meters of him was gone. It was all scattered by this move. Ding, congratulations, successfully killed snow wolf, gained 500 experience point, 3 crazy point. Ding, congratulations, successfully killed snow wolf, gained 500 experience point, 3 crazy point. Ding, congratulations, successfully leveled up to the 6th level of body refinement realm. After using the 10 times EXP card, the experience exploded, making him exclaim. Under the smell of blood, more and more snow wolves pounced on him. After a few crazy sweeps, the snow wolves that pounced on him were killed in a blink of an eye. It is simply crazy. These snow wolves are not afraid of death at all, madly pouncing on him. Yi Tianyun certainly does not refuse, madly waving his attack, constantly attacking the snow wolves that rushed up, using various martial arts to increase the number of snow wolves. Especially the absorbing star's great technique, the proficiency is increasing rapidly. Thanks to the 10 times EXP card, the experience is exploding, the level crazily rushed up. Ding, congratulations, successfully leveled up to the 7th level of body refinement realm. Ding, congratulations, successfully leveled up to the 8th level of body refinement realm. After continuously killing these snow wolves, Yi Tianyun was promoted to the 8th level of body refinement realm. This speed is absolutely unique. Chapter 6. Finally, after killing batch after batch, the terrifying aura suppressed the surrounding snow wolves, causing them to cower in fear, not daring to continue forward. Their intelligence is not high, but their sense of danger is still very strong. The human in front of them is steadily suppressing them, and if they continue to rush forward, they will die. What, you don't dare to come? Yi Tianyun looked at the snow wolves that were scared by him, and his mouth curled into a satisfied smile. This is the strength he needs. Ow! A wolf's howl came from the top of the snowy mountain. Yi Tianyun looked up, and with the help of the moonlight, he saw the Snow Wolf King standing on the peak of the snowy mountain. It really is a boss, even the name is golden. His eyes slightly narrowed as he saw the name on top of the Snow Wolf King's head. It is golden. This is the form of a boss. He has been crazily killing for so long, just to wait for the Snow Wolf King to appear. This is a middle rank 1 monster, and its cultivation is probably at the 8th level of the body refinement realm. This is a big challenge for him. Ding, the system's voice sounded in his mind. Successfully accepted the side quest. Kill the Snow Wolf King. Eliminate the Scourge. Completion reward, 5,000 experience points. Summon the Snow Wolf King as a mount. Yi Tianyun's eyes widened. This task reward is amazing. To actually be able to make the Snow Wolf King as a mount, just thinking about it makes him feel awe-inspiring. Ordinary people would never be able to make them their mounts. They would rather die than become their mounts. Now, as long as he kills the Snow Wolf King, he will be able to summon it as a mount. This is too cool. Then quickly come down and kill it for me, so that it can become my mount. Yi Tianyun licked his lips, his eyes full of excitement. The best thing about killing a big boss is the reward, and now that there is a task reward, it is even more exciting. The Snow Wolf King looked down at Yi Tianyun with cold eyes, and the surrounding snow wolves retreated, making a path for him, but their eyes were still vigilantly looking at Yi Tianyun. Although they are no match for him, they will not bow down. Ow! The Snow Wolf King swooped down from the sky, its silver fur standing on end like sharp spikes. It pounced on Tang Wulin in a frenzy, sweeping away the accumulated snow in its wake. Like a ray of silver light, the Snow Wolf King dashed down from the top of the mountain in just a few breaths of time. As the Snow Wolf King got closer, its huge physique was truly shocking. The Snow Wolf King's physique was at least 2 meters tall, taller than a normal person. Just his sturdy physique alone was enough to flatten him, not to mention his sharp claws. Roar! The Wolf King's majesty is inviolable. It swung its giant claws and rushed towards Yi Tianyun. Sharp silver light flashed in the night, cutting through the night, trying to tear Yi Tianyun in half. From the beginning, Yi Tianyun didn't move, but the moment the Snow Wolf King pounced on him, he finally moved. His palms turned into sharp claws, and he struck forward. Sharp claws against sharp claws. Under this ferocious grab, a silver light and a pale blue light appeared in the air, and the two collided rapidly. Dang! The Frost Fist and the Snow Wolf claws collided, as if two huge metal weapons had collided. An ear-piercing sound rang out, like thousands of needles piercing into the eardrums. It was an uncomfortable feeling. After the two violent forces collided, the two were repelled, but this time, it was Yi Tianyun who was repelled. He slid back a long distance before stopping. Looking up, the ground was scratched with deep marks. On the other hand, the Snow Wolf King was only pushed back a few steps. It was clear that the Snow Wolf King's strength was superior. The biggest advantage of a demonic beast was their physique. Just this strength alone was enough to crush a human into meat pace. What a domineering strength. I almost couldn't take it. Yi Tianyun's palms were trembling, and the web between his thumb and forefinger was numb. The violent strength had almost caused him to suffer internal injuries. I knew it was the right decision to test my strength. Warm up before the fight. He would not fight without confidence. He needed to fight in order to find out where his weaknesses lay. Awoo! The Snow Wolf King's eyes were filled with disdain. He looked down on the human in front of him. To him, the human was weak. In the next moment, the Snow Wolf King did not give Yi Tianyun much time to rest. Once again, it turned into a silver light and pounced at him. The Snow Wolf King's body was huge, but it possessed shocking speed. But it's time to end this, or else I won't have much time left. Yi Tianyun laughed loudly, and the ice frost fist in his hand suddenly bloomed with a dazzling light. The blue energy spread to the surroundings, and in the blink of an eye, all the snow wolves within 100 miles, including the Snow Wolf King, were instantly frozen into ice sculpture. But they did not die. They were completely frozen and couldn't be removed in a short time. Suddenly, he felt a little pain. In order to use this special effect, he spent a total of 30 crazy points. Killing a snow wolf only gave him 5 crazy points, and now he lost 30 crazy point. The next moment, Yi Qianyun rushed up and put his hands on the Snow Wolf King's body. He activated Absorbing Star's great technique. A steady stream of spiritual power flowed into his body, and his EXP increased like crazy. Congratulations, player gained 100 EXP, 80 EXP, 120 EXP, the number kept rising. With the effect of the 10 times EXP card, the amount of energy absorbed was quite amazing. At this time, he finally felt that the crazy points were worth it. Continue to burst. Yi Qianyun squinted his eyes and burst out light. Enter crazy mode. After entering crazy mode, the EXP increased again. Congratulations, player gained 120 EXP, 96 EXP. Crazy mode only doubled the EXP, not based on the 10 times EXP card, but added together, it was 12 times EXP. If he could increase the EXP by 20 times, he would go crazy. But now, the most important thing is to kill the Snow Wolf King. The time limit is almost up, so he used all his strength, otherwise, it would be a waste. Then end it for me. In the next moment, Yi Qianyun aimed at the Snow Wolf King and punched him. Dong! The Snow Wolf King wailed, but it couldn't move. It was completely frozen. Not dead, Yi Qianyun didn't expect the Snow Wolf King to survive his punch. It seems that the skin of the Snow Wolf King is too thick. Well, I will use Battle Crazy Mode. Crazy Mode added another effect, damage stacking twice. This means that his consumption increased from 1 point per minute to 2 point. But it doesn't matter, he doesn't have to worry about consumption. Go to hell! Yi Qianyun growled and swung his fist again. This time his power is twice as strong as before. He completely burst out with his full strength. With a dong sound, the Snow Wolf King was sent flying. His entire body had been punched through, and blood splattered everywhere. Soon after, he lay on the ground, twitching non-stop. He was already on the verge of death. Owu! The Snow Wolf King struggled in pain, and after a few moments, the ferocious Snow Wolf King let out a mournful wail and stopped breathing. The tough fur of the Snow Wolf King was destroyed just like that. The effect of Crazy Mode is really useful. Although it consumes a lot of energy, its power is greatly increased. Owu! When the Snow Wolves saw their Snow Wolf King killed, they all howled, turned around, and ran away, not daring to approach Yi Qianyun anymore. This is the feeling. The killing intent in Yi Qianyun's eyes gradually faded, and he showed a confident smile. His hard work was not in vain, he finally got the result. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Qianyun, completed side quest, got 5,000 EXP, summon Snow Wolf King skill. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Qianyun, successfully killed Snow Wolf King, got 1,000 EXP, 100 crazy point, a pair of Snow Wolf war boots, 500 silver. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Qianyun, successfully leveled up to 9th level of body refinement realm. Finally, it stopped here. After leveling up 1 level, it stopped. Killing the Snow Wolf King didn't bring as much reward as he expected, but this kind of small boss can drop such a treasure is quite good. Immediately after, he brought up the status panel and listed out the detailed data. Player, Yi Qianyun level, 9th level of body refinement realm, EXP, 189 crazy point cultivation technique, Dark North divine art, human level, proficiency 601000, skills, Absorbing Stars great technique, human level, proficiency Eagle claw art, falling feather sword technique, weapon, Frost fist, common iron, proficiency 50/50ths armor, Snow Wolf war boots divine ability, crazy mode. Chapter 7. In the following time, Yi Qianyun came out at night to hunt demon beasts, and every time he rode on this majestic Snow Wolf King to the snowy mountains. Because there is no 10 times EXP card, so the experience gained is relatively small, plus there are not many demon beasts here, so the difficulty of leveling up is not small. Time passed quickly, half a month passed in a blink of an eye. At this time, in the arena of Jade Palace, there is already a crowd, but there is no trace of Yi Qianyun. Palace Lord Shu, where is Yi Qianyun? Did you let him go? When Zhao Hualong didn't see any trace of Yi Qianyun, his face is a bit ugly. Fang Yun's face also sank. If Yi Qianyun ran away, then he can't avenge his brother. In preparation, he will be here soon. Shi Shueyun's face is cold, in fact, She hopes Yi Tianyun won't appear, she can block here. That's good, if he really ran away, your Jade Palace must give us an explanation. Otherwise, Spirit Sect will never let you go. Zhao Hualong said solemnly. Why should I run? Jade Palace is my home, I can't run away, I will do what I said. Yi Tianyun came from a distance, the momentum of his walk is extremely calm, people can't see his depth, always feel that the situation is not the same as before. When Yi Tianyun killed Fang Chen, they all thought that it was a coincidence that he could kill Fang Chen, they don't believe that he can kill Fang Chen. You didn't leave, it seems that you still have a bit of backbone. Fang Yun's eyes are cold. Shi Shuiyun sighed deeply. In the end, Yi Tianyun still came, but no one is optimistic about him, whether it is Jade Palace or Spirit Sect, they are not optimistic about him. Spirit Sect thinks that he is sending himself to death, and Jade Palace thinks that he is a disgrace and a burden. Since you are all here, Palace Master Shi, let's start now. Zhao Hualong sneered. With the existence of Palace Master Shi, they could easily win this round. Alright, let's win 3 out of 5 matches to decide the quota for this ancient site. Shi Shuiyun said in a deep voice. Yes, 3 wins out of 5. Who's going first? Zhao Hualong's gaze shifted to Yi Tianyun. It was obvious that he wanted Yi Tianyun to go first. Then I'll go first. Yi Tianyun was definitely going to be the vanguard. He lifted his leg and walked towards the stage. When Yi Tianyun was about to go to the stage, he was pulled by Shi Shuiyun and whispered to him. Admit defeat, even if it is a duel of life and death, you can admit defeat. Her expression is very serious, this is the first time Yi Tianyun saw it. If I admit defeat, then I am not worthy of your protection. Yi Tianyun smiled faintly at her and walked towards the stage, leaving Shi Shuiyun stunned. Shi Shuiyun's overbearing attitude let everyone know how high the position of Yi Tianyun is in her heart. For Yi Tianyun, she is willing to become enemies with Spirit Sect. Whether Shi Shuiyun is his aunt or not, this is not the point at all. Shi Shuiyun dared to face so much pressure and directly slap Zhao Hualong, even at the cost of starting a war between the two sects. He suddenly felt that this aunt is worthy of his respect. Very good, then this round, Fang Yun, you go. When Yi Tianyun went to the stage, Zhao Hualong waved his hand at his disciple Fang Yun and said in a deep voice, this round is a life and death match, unless you jump out of the stage, there is no meaning in admitting defeat. Zhao Hualong added a condition, it seems that it is possible to admit defeat, but for him, it is enough. The fastest way is to shout, but whether or not he can escape, is another matter. How can a waste compare to the speed of an expert? Shi Shuiyun's expression changed, but she could not refute, she can only agree. Fang Yun looked at Yi Tianyun and said with a sneer, I know, second elder, he cannot escape. Then Fang Yun walked up, stood in front of Yi Tianyun and looked at him coldly. I will kill you with my own hands, I will let you know the consequences of killing my brother. Finally, at this moment, in his heart, he did not want to avenge his brother, but to win this round. Fang Chen is his brother, although it made him angry, it is more of a humiliation. Fang Chen is not capable, he is always sloppy, but it does not mean that he can be killed at will. Kill your brother? That is your brother's fault. Not only did he want to snatch my elixir, he also wants to kill me. You are distorting the truth, it is nothing more than to get this spot. Yi Tianyun looked at him with an indifferent expression, not worried about his situation at all. He immediately stretched out his hand and said, make your move, I will receive it. It is you who is distorting the truth. You are just bluffing, I want to see how strong you are. Fang Yun clasped his hands, turning them into eagle claws, and rushed over with a whistling sound. An incomparably huge eagle phantom appeared behind him, as if it has really turned into a giant eagle, pouncing over. The sharp claws did not hesitate to aim at Yi Tianyun's throat, wanting to kill him in one strike. This is not an ordinary move, it is a fatal move. Yi Tianyun still stood in the same place, not moving at all. The Jade Palace disciples' heart suddenly jumped out of their throat. Is Yi Tianyun a fool? Shi Shuiyun is ready to save Yi Tianyun, even if she admits defeat, she still has to save Yi Tianyun. Zhao Hualong's mouth evoked an evil smile, he seems to foresee that Yi Tianyun will be smashed out of the field. Fang Chen's level is not the best, but dealing with this waste is absolutely no pressure. The next moment, Yi Tianyun raised his eyes, a bright light flashed in his sharp eyes, like a vast galaxy, flowing in his eyes. Absorbing stars, great technique. Yi Tianyun suddenly reached forward and grabbed Fang Yun's arm. The terrifying suction force extracted all the energy in Fang Yun's body. Almost instantaneously, the energy flowing in Fang Yun's hand suddenly disappeared, and even the spiritual power in his body flowed backward. Get 1 EXP, 2 EXP, 3 EXP. At this time, Fang Yun's body stiffened, his face suddenly became pale. He felt that the spiritual power in his body was suddenly extracted by half. He wanted to shake off this arm, but found that it was tightly attached to Yi Tianyun's palm. He can't move at all. A cultivator without spiritual power, if his body is too weak, he is almost like a disabled person. Let go of me. Fang Yun roared. His other hand quickly took out a dagger, aimed at Yi Tianyun and stabbed. Only the heart. If stabbed, he will die. Yi Tianyun suddenly pulled and slammed to the ground. Bang! Fang Yun was heavily smashed to the ground, almost fainted. Then Yi Tianyun grabbed Fang Yun's hand and pressed it to his own chest. Poochie, the dagger went into his chest and stopped at the hilt. Sure enough, like younger brother, in addition to sneak attack, what other skills do you have? Yi Tianyun sneered, lifted his foot and kicked up. Bang! Fang Chen was kicked out, falling down in a parabola in the air. After Zhao Hualong quickly reacted, he hurriedly jumped up to catch Fang Chen. Poochie, Fang Yun vomited a mouthful of blood, and immediately widened his eyes. His face became very dark. This is similar to Fang Yun's situation, all signs of poisoning. The next moment, Fang Yun's eyes widened, and he died. This familiar scene is no different from killing Fang Chen before. They both want to use the same trick to deal with him. Ding! Congratulations, successfully killed Spirit Sect's disciple Fang Yun. Get 700 EXP, 20 crazy point. Ding! Congratulations! You've obtained a recovery elixir. Chapter 8. The overbearing counterattack, although a little flawed, was still relatively clean and neat, and easily resolved the opponent's sneak attack. This situation made everyone stunned. If Yi Tianyun was not a fool, this performance was even more shocking. A legendary waste easily crushed Fang Yun, who attacked him. Fang Yun's cultivation was not very high, but at least the 7th level of the body refinement stage, which was not low, and belonged to the upper middle level. This meant that Yi Tianyun's cultivation had reached the 7th level of the body refinement stage. With this kind of talent, he could not be called a genius, but at least he was not a waste. No one could see what Yi Tianyun's cultivation was. They could only guess. If it continued to go up, then it was hidden deep enough. What's going on? Shishueyun was shocked. It was shocking enough that he could speak so flexibly. The strength he showed now was no less than the 7th or 8th level of the body refinement stage. Was this still the situation of a waste bloodline? This made everyone dumbfounded. Who could say what was going on? Yi Tianyun felt everyone's shocked eyes. This was already expected. A rumored waste suddenly became so good at fighting. Anyone would be dumbfounded. Fang Yun died in Zhao Hualong's arms. Zhao Hualong's anger suddenly broke out. His momentum soared into the sky, and his murderous intent was awe-inspiring. You are so ruthless. It turns out that your cultivation is so high. No wonder you can kill Fang Chen. Zhao Hualong looked at Yi Tianyun with resentment and said, no wonder you would come up. It turns out that your cultivation is at the 7th or 8th level of the body refinement stage, higher than Fang Yun. You could have just taught Fang Chen a lesson. Why did you kill him? Yi Tianyun sneered, the two of them used a dagger to assassinate me. If I didn't fight back, then they really thought I was a fool, and in a battle of life and death, who can be blamed? He understood this truth. It was like this in previous fights. If people don't offend me, I won't offend them. They had already taken out a dagger to assassinate him. If it weren't for his higher cultivation base, he would have been the one lying dead on the ground instead of Fang Yun. Therefore, as long as it was against him, he would not be lenient. He would make a move when he needed to. A woman's benevolence would only make her seek death. What good for evil? All of that was bullsh*t to him. The moment he made his move, he had already been branded with the mark of death. It is absolutely impossible for him to let this Fang Yun go. Zhao Hualong's eyes were filled with hatred. What Lin Fan said was true. He could only grit his teeth and swallow his anger. After Yi Tianyun won, Jade Palace won a good start. This is trash. How can trash have such a high cultivation base and be so strong? It seems like the rumors are true. This kid isn't a piece of trash at all, but an expert with great talent. Did the palace master spread this rumor? Even we didn't know about it. The disciples of Jade Palace were talking about it. The strength shown by Yi Tianyun shocked them. Their impression of Yi Tianyun has greatly improved. In this world, martial prowess reigned supreme. Only by displaying valiant strength could one gain the respect of others. Tianyun, you can come down now. Shi Shuiyun breathed a sigh of relief. No matter what happened, as long as Yi Tianyun can be safe, everything will be fine. Palace Master, I wonder if I can continue the competition? Yi Tianyun squinted his eyes and said in a flat tone. Many disciples of Spirit Sect were mocking him before. Especially their elder Zhao Hualong, they mocked him for being a waste. Oh, it's quite imposing, that's good. I'll fulfill your wish and let you continue the challenge. Zhao Hualong squinted at Yi Tianyun, his eyes revealed a bit of killing intent, anger surged in his heart. If he wasn't in Jade Palace, he would have already killed Yi Tianyun. Tianyun, hurry up and recover, don't try to be brave. Shi Shuiyun was worried. She still thinks that Yi Tianyun can't hold on any longer, and she is afraid that he will be injured. Palace Master, I'm fine, do you want me to continue to be a piece of trash? Yi Tianyun said solemnly. Hearing this, Shi Shuiyun was shocked. What kind of power made him change so much? Did he meet some senior or get some inheritance? The most important thing is to prove his strength, to prove that he is not a fool, so that he can live with more dignity. This made Shi Shuiyun more determined, but she didn't go up to stop him. Zhao Hualong sneered, if you continue to stand there, you have already proved that you are a piece of trash. Mo Cheng, this battle is yours. Yes, Elder Zhao. As soon as he finished speaking, a young man flew up from the battle stage and landed on the stage. His easygoing aura exudes from the inside out. His handsome appearance is definitely a girl killer, but now the female disciples of Jade Palace are too lazy to look at him. As enemies, they would always harbor enmity, not love. Compared to Fang Yun, he is more elegant, whether it is momentum or cultivation, he is far superior to Fang Yun, 9th level of body refinement realm. This cultivation can be said to have reached an amazing level. Among the disciples, he is a relatively top existence. Mo Cheng, it turned out to be him, this time he is doomed. This is the disciple of Spirit Sect, he is about the same age as us, and his cultivation has reached 9th level of body refinement realm. Will Yi Tianyun still win? This is 9th level of body refinement realm. Jade Palace felt the invisible pressure. Zhao Hualong is already angry to the extreme, directly sent the strongest disciple, and the strongest disciple on their side is Mo Cheng. If Yi Tianyun only has 7th or 8th level of body refinement realm, then he will definitely lose this battle. Within 3 moves, you will lose. Mo Cheng said lightly, looking at Yi Tianyun's eyes, as if looking at a dead person. Yi Tianyun smiled lightly and said, only 3 moves, you are quite arrogant. Are all the disciples of Spirit Sect so arrogant? Mo Cheng said indifferently, your movements are too stiff, not flexible enough, your explosive power is too weak, your speed is too slow. Yi Tianyun immediately smiled, it seems that I have a lot of problems, thank you for pointing them out, but it is really naive to think that you can defeat me in 3 moves. As long as you can withstand 3 moves, I will admit defeat. Mo Cheng is quite arrogant, 3 moves is not a lot, but when there is a huge disparity in cultivation, 1 move is enough to defeat him. In that case, I only need 1 move to defeat you. Yi Tianyun's expression is indifferent, but his words are more arrogant. Chapter 9. He can defeat Mo Cheng in 1 move? Heavenly Spirit Palace's disciple showed a sarcastic look. His cultivation is not bad, but his brain is really a bit wrong. If he's too arrogant, he's no different from a fool. Jade Palace's disciple also shook their head, he just won a game, how can he be so arrogant? This will undoubtedly accelerate his failure. Mo Cheng's talent is good, there are few opponents in the same age, so when Yi Tianyun said this, their impression of him dropped a bit, he's a bit overconfident. First move. Mo Cheng no longer continued to talk with Yi Tianyun, he stepped forward, his figure twisted, and quickly circled to Yi Tianyun's side, his speed sometimes fast and sometimes slow, sometimes disappear, sometimes appear, it looks extremely strange. This is Spirit Sect's secret technique, floating cloud step. Shi Shuiyun frowned. Mo Cheng dared to say that just now, naturally his strength is not low, this movement technique is not simple, but he successfully cultivated it, it's not easy to deal with him. Yi Tianyun stared at Mo Cheng, who floated over, the other party flashed several times, and in the blink of an eye, he is already in front of him. When he gently raised his hand, suddenly Mo Cheng disappeared in front of him. The next moment, he immediately felt a sense of crisis behind him. Mo Cheng flashed behind him. Immediately after, a heavy palm hit him. The Jade Palace's disciple watching behind him immediately exclaimed. They all saw the moment Mo Cheng attacked. Yi Tianyun had no time to dodge, Mo Cheng's speed is too fast. At this time, Mo Cheng's handsome face has become hideous. This palm is not a one-hit kill, at least it can seriously injure him. Screech! An eagle cry went straight to the sky. Yi Tianyun suddenly jumped, like a flying eagle, quickly turned in the air, one hand turned into an eagle claw, as if swooping down from a high altitude to catch prey, he grabbed Mo Cheng's arm. At the moment of grabbing, Absorbing Star's great technique instantly activated, a terrifying suction burst out, a steady stream of spiritual power was sucked into his body, followed by the voice in his mind. Obtained 5 EXP, 6 EXP, 4 EXP. As Mo Cheng absorbed a steady stream of spiritual energy into his body, his experience points rapidly rose. Since Mo Cheng's cultivation was slightly higher, the amount of experience points he gained from absorbing the spiritual energy was naturally higher. In the blink of an eye, more than half of the spiritual power in Mo Cheng's body had been drawn out. What kind of evil technique is this? Mo Cheng was scared out of his wits. He wanted to shake off Yi Tianyun's hand that was grabbing him, but he found that he couldn't break free at all. His hand was held tightly in Yi Tianyun's hand. This caused him to hurriedly use his other hand to attack. But how could Yi Tianyun slow down? His other hand also transformed into an eagle's claw, grabbing onto the attacking hand and holding it firmly in place. There was no way for him to move at all. Eagle claw. Their eyes were filled with shock. Although the eagle claw art wasn't a unique martial art, it was still a pretty good martial art. But does Jade Palace have this martial art? No matter what martial art it is, now Mo Cheng is firmly fixed in place, as if he can't move at all. Let go of me. Mo Cheng's whole body trembled, as if he had epilepsy, constantly twitching. His spiritual power is about to be drained, this kind of strange behavior will appear. How could Yi Tianyun let him go? This is all EXP. When he wanted to continue to absorb, Mo Cheng showed a grim expression and shouted, I can't lose. Then he suddenly turned his palm, and there was a black pill in his hand. A dangerous aura came from it. Yi Tianyun's eyes were cold, and immediately lifted his foot and kicked out fiercely. Bang! Mo Cheng was kicked out, and at the same time, the black pill in his hand also hit him. Boom! In mid-air, Mo Cheng suddenly exploded. To be exact, the pill in his hand exploded, and he was completely blown away and turned into a piece of charcoal. Damn, isn't this a bomb? Yi Tianyun startled. Why these bastards keep all kinds of hidden weapons on their body? They can't beat me, so they use hidden weapons. This is too shameless. Mo Cheng rolled his eyes, directly flew out of the field, rolled a few times on the ground, and finally faced the sky. Everyone saw his body was scorched, but it seems that he was killed by the explosion. Just now the power of the gunpowder is not low. When it exploded, it directly killed him. Congratulations, successfully killed Mo Cheng, gained 800 EXP, body technique floating cloud steps, 1 recovery pill, 35 crazy point. I got another reward. I even got the floating cloud step. Yi Tianyun was happy. Just now he thought that floating cloud steps is not bad, it looks like a ghost, can easily avoid attacks, and can also sneak attack. This is what he wanted the most. He actually lost. Zhao Hualong murmured, his eyes were full of disbelief. Even Mo Cheng was sent to fight, who knew the final result would make them stunned. Their strongest disciple lost, how can they win? And it is really one move. Mo Cheng was killed, although he was killed by his own hidden weapon, but it is equal to defeat him. We won, we really won. Young master, you are amazing. Young master, you are really strong. Yi Tianyun really won, even Mo Cheng can win. Is this a dream? Xiao Lian shouted. She has been taking care of Yi Tianyun, treating him as her own brother. Now that he defeated the genius of Spirit Sect, he is no longer a fool. How can they not be excited and scream? Even other female disciples of Jade Palace cheered for him. Their Jade Palace is not the loser, Spirit Sect is. Yi Tianyun still felt that it is not enough. If he can continue to absorb EXP, he estimated that he can get half of the EXP. It is a pity. You disciples of Spirit Sect only know how to sneak attack. This time you used hidden weapon. If you can't afford to lose, don't come up to challenge me. Yi Tianyun's eyes are cold. If he didn't kick in time, he will definitely be injured. Elder Zhao, it is necessary for you to give an explanation. Forget about the previous life and death battle. Now it is also a life and death battle. Shi Shuiyun is also angry. This is not the first time, and this time it is even worse. This is our mistake, but since the person is already gone, there is no need to pursue too much. Zhao Hualong is even more angry, but also distressed. This is their recently talented disciple. Now he is gone, and now he hates Yi Tianyun even more. Using the gunpowder to explode, of course, is not his idea, but Mo Cheng can't bear the blow, so he used an extreme method. Don't pursue too much. I have nothing to say about this. In that case, let's send out the last person. You still choose yourself. Yi Tianyun's eyes are fierce. It makes the people under the stage tremble. Tianyun, that's enough. Leave the rest to us. Shi Shuiyun's eyes are red. Is this still Yi Tianyun who was once called a fool? Of course not, but a normal person, a genius. Yi Tianyun can help them deal with two people, bringing them a strong morale. This is enough. Chapter 10. Under the worried eyes of everyone, Yi Tianyun smiled faintly and said, "The last match, everyone leave it to me. Let me teach them a lesson, let them know the power of our Jade Palace." His voice was low. He just doesn't want to let Spirit Sect go. Young master, are you really okay? Yeah, I used to look stupid. I didn't expect it to be fake. Palace master, you really hid it from us. Yi Tianyun's strength made many female disciples look at him with admiration. Not all female disciples don't reject Yi Tianyun, at least most of them changed their opinion of Yi Tianyun. The behavior of the former palace master was very irresponsible, but it didn't have a serious impact on Jade Palace, and when he served as the palace master of Jade Palace, he brought a lot of contribution to Jade Palace, so he can be forgiven. Of course, everything is due to his performance this time. He won a good result for Jade Palace. Without this as a prerequisite, even if he is not a fool, he will be looked down upon. In the end, without strength, you can't change the opinion of others. Shi Shuiyun looked around and couldn't help but shake her head, thinking that she deliberately hid Yi Tianyun. As a family member who often takes care of Yi Tianyun, how could she not know the real situation? Even if he is not a fool, it is impossible for him to have such high cultivation. This is what she can't figure out, and Xiaolian also doesn't know. If that's the case, can you still persist? Shi Shuiyun worried. Don't try to be brave. If you can't, come down. Yi Tianyun just wanted to say something, but Zhao Hualong in the audience has already said coldly. He has agreed to compete. The last match, we must continue. Everyone looked at the voice and saw Zhao Hualong's eyes are red, full of murderous aura spread from his body. Even the disciples of Heavenly Spirit Palace glared at Yi Tianyun. Yi Tianyun killed two of their senior brothers. Not only did he lose face, but he also lost two talented disciples. At this time, the anger in Zhao Hualong's heart has reached a point of no return. With Fang Chen's talent, he will definitely become a core disciple in the future, but now he is dead. It will be hard for him to explain when he goes back. Now he just wants to kill Yi Tianyun, to avenge Fang Yun and the others, but also for the face of Spirit Sect. Elder Zhao, Tianyun has already fought 2 duels, so it's not against the rules for us to have someone else compete in the last duel. Shi Shuiyun looked at him coldly. Her powerful aura seems to have materialized and dispersed Zhao Hualong's murderous aura. Just now, he personally said to continue the competition. Of course, we will follow his decision. Of course, Zhao Hualong didn't want Yi Tianyun to leave. If Yi Tianyun left, he would lose his chance to take revenge. Now I will speak on his behalf. I don't know if Elder Zhao has any opinion on this. Shi Xueyun already knew what Zhao Hualong's idea is. It's obvious that he wants revenge. Everyone can't help but despise Zhao Hualong. Yi Tianyun just said it casually, it's not a bet. Palace Lord Sure, this is his previous choice. Zhao Hualong raised 2 fingers and said in a deep voice, if he can continue to compete, and if he wins the last match, I will give him an extra spirit-breaking pill. As soon as this remark came out, everyone was in an uproar. Spirit-breaking pill, as the name suggests, is a medicinal pill that can help the user break through from the body refining stage to the spirit refining stage. As long as the user reaches the peak of the body refining stage, they can take it. As long as the user takes it, they can break through to the spirit refining stage. Zhao Hualong took out this pill as a bet. He is definitely putting a lot of money into it. The price of spirit-breaking pill is not low. If he loses, not only will he lose 2 disciples, he will also lose a spirit-breaking pill. Originally, he didn't want to take it out, but in order to let Yi Tianyun continue to stay in the top, he can only go all out. Originally, this medicinal pill was for Fang Chen to take. Who knows, Shi Xueyun sneered, is this spirit-breaking pill very precious? You as an elder have the nerve to take it out, take it back and eat it yourself. As for spirit-breaking pill, Jade Palace can still take it out, regardless of how precious this thing is. For her, Yi Tianyun is more important. Looking at the other party's attitude, she will definitely make a move, and Yi Tianyun will definitely be in danger. Zhao Hualong's heart sank. This spirit-breaking pill is extremely precious for disciples of body refining stage, but for those above spirit refining stage, it basically has no effect. Then what do you want? Zhao Hualong gritted his teeth. Get lost. If I say no, then I won't. Shi Xueyun snorted, almost without any hesitation. Yi Tianyun is more important. Zhao Hualong's face is ugly. Is he really not going to take revenge? A spirit-breaking pill? I will accept this challenge. Yi Tianyun smiled indifferently. He planned to take it from the beginning, but he didn't expect them to talk, completely ignoring his opinion. From the beginning, he has already said that he will choose to fight. He didn't expect them to quarrel, and even bet. This kind of thing is definitely more the better. He can't wait to have more. Just like before, he still chose to stand up. But this time no one dares to laugh at him. The strength he showed just now has already shocked everyone. Zhao Hualong's eyes showed joy, and hurriedly said, in that case, let's hurry up to the next match. He doesn't want to miss this opportunity. His heart is cold. As long as Yi Tianyun agrees, then they will have a chance. Shi Xueyun was anxious. Just when she wanted to say something, she saw Yi Tianyun's eyes. From his eyes she can feel the strong confidence. She opened her mouth and closed it again. She didn't say any more words of rejection. The last match, let Zhao Feng go. Zhao Hualong pointed to a disciple with the cultivation of the 7th level of the body refinement stage. This cultivation is a level lower than Fang Yun. Can he still win? But since Zhao Hualong let him go, there must be a reason. Zhao Hualong can sit in this position. He is not a fool. After letting Zhao Feng come over, he whispered, don't spare any effort, waste him. I will help solve your problem, as long as you can win. No problem. Zhao Feng stared at Yi Tianyun with cold eyes. His eyes are like a poisonous snake, flashing in his eyes. Then Zhao Hualong's face was cold. His heart was filled with anger. You still want the spirit-breaking pill? Not only the quota is ours, the spirit-breaking pill is also ours. You killed our people. I will make you pay the price. The anger in his heart appeared on his face. Not only was he slapped, but also 2 of his excellent disciples died. If he doesn't get back at them, he can't swallow this anger. Chapter 11. Zhao Feng jumped high from the battle stage, then fell heavily on the ground. The heavy sound shook the ground. His sturdy body attracted everyone's attention. But what attracted everyone's attention was the thing wrapped in black cloth on Zhao Feng's back. Then Zhao Feng reached out and pulled out the thing on his back, and then pulled the black cloth, revealing a heavy black spear in front of everyone. Boom! Zhao Feng swung it a few times in the air before finally smashing it into the ground. With a loud boom, a small crater appeared in the hard ground. This situation made the female disciple of Jade Palace cover her mouth. No wonder when Zhao Feng jumped on the battle stage, there was a heavy sound. It turned out that he was carrying such a heavy black iron spear. The damage caused by a casual attack is absolutely huge. This spear, at least 600 or 700 jin. This is innate divine power, 7th level of body refinement realm, and he can easily wield such a heavy weapon. There was a noise under the battle stage. Yi Tianyun's attack is a bit strange, but the length of the weapon is not short. The length is almost equal to the height of 2 people. No one dares to approach, let alone attack. Shi Shuiyun said coldly. It seems that Elder Zhao calculated everything. He felt that his cultivation is not enough, so he began to use a weapon. This Zhao Hualong really has no good intentions. He directly sent out Zhao Feng with innate divine power. Looking at him easily waving the spear, it is clear that his strength is not small. The rules didn't say that weapons can't be used. Weapons have always been necessary. A good weapon can improve one's strength by several levels. Now that the weapon is on the stage, Yi Tianyun can also choose any weapon. There are a lot of weapons in Jade Palace, but Shi Shuiyun doesn't know what kind of weapon Yi Tianyun is familiar with. Zhao Hualong smiled lightly. The rules didn't say that weapons can't be used, right? You can also choose any weapon. Yi Tianyun's cultivation is good, but what about the weapon? The gap in cultivation is not impossible, especially he knows that Yi Tianyun's movement is not very good. He was hit before. It was just that it was strangely fine, and he couldn't understand it no matter how he thought about it. But here, it was not about martial arts, only about winning or losing. This spear seems to be quite powerful. Yi Tianyun inspected the spear in Zhao Feng's hand and thought of a weapon. He also had one. Tianyun, what weapon do you need? Shi Shuiyun listed out the weapons. They were all common iron-grade weapons, but their grades were relatively low. There were very few high-grade weapons. Yi Tianyun smiled faintly and said, I have my own weapon. As he said that, he took out the frost fist and wore it. The blue glove covered his fist, emitting a faint blue light. It looked quite beautiful. However, when everyone saw the gloves, they were stunned. What was the difference between this and bare fists? The opponent won because the distance of the spear was long enough and the range was large enough. Even if the power of the glove was not bad, in the face of such an area of effect attack, he was at a disadvantage. Phut! What's the difference between this and not using a weapon? And what is this thing? Isn't it just a glove? What effect does it have? Zhao Hualong laughed on the spot, thinking that this was really funny. He didn't use a weapon, but he actually used a glove. The female disciples of Jade Palace looked at each other. This is undoubtedly a disadvantage for them. Shi Shuiyun anxiously said, Tianyun, how are you going to fight him with this weapon? She just saw that Yi Tianyun's movement technique was not good. It was estimated that it would be difficult for him to dodge. How could he rush up to attack? We'll know when we fight. Yi Tianyun smiled and walked to the battle stage. Is he really going to use his fist to block this weapon? Not to mention the disciples of Spirit Sect, even most of the people of Jade Palace are not optimistic. If there was a huge disparity in strength between the two, it would be easy to defeat Zhao Feng with bare hands. But this time is different. The difference in cultivation between the two is not much, and with the advantage of the length of the weapon, the probability of Yi Tianyun winning is less than half. This is not an exaggeration. Zhao Feng waved the spear as if it was a light wooden stick. It didn't affect his speed at all. Under this premise, how can he get close to Yi Tianyun? Unless Yi Tianyun burst out with a faster speed. Since you insist on courting death, don't blame me. Zhao Feng pointed the spear at Yi Tianyun. The tip of the stick condensed a tyrannical power. At any time, he can use Yi Tianyun as a blood sacrifice. Please. Yi Tianyun signaled Zhao Feng to attack. He looked indifferent. Ha! Zhao Feng did not hesitate. With a low roar, grabbed the spear and rushed up. The violent momentum soared to the sky. His eyes actually burst out a bloody light. His power suddenly increased several times. This is obviously not the power of 7th level of body refinement realm. This is a berserk pill. Someone immediately saw that Zhao Feng took a berserk pill, which is why he can burst out with such terrifying power. If this hit really hit Yi Tianyun, then he will really be smashed into meat paste. Shio. The sound of the spear breaking through the air hit the eardrums of everyone. The extremely overbearing berserk force locked Yi Tianyun in an instant. Zhao Feng held the spear in mid-air, smashing towards Yi Tianyun with great momentum. Dragon in the Spear. Heavenly Spirit Sect's human-level martial art was released. Together with Berserk Pill, the power rose sharply. Under this aura, Yi Tianyun has no way to escape. There is no way to escape this aura lock. As long as he is locked, he can't escape. In the next moment, Yi Tianyun disappeared, his figure looming. This familiar scene, isn't it the floating cloud steps that Fang Chen used before? At this time, it was displayed by Yi Tianyun. The problem is this floating cloud steps. It is a kind of secret technique of Heavenly Spirit Sect. How can it be learned by Yi Tianyun? This is floating cloud steps. How is it possible? Zhao Hualong was shocked. Generally, Heavenly Spirit Sect disciples are not qualified to practice this floating cloud steps, but now it was displayed by Yi Tianyun, it made them dumbfounded. Not to mention Heavenly Spirit Sect disciples, Jade Palace people are also dumbfounded. How can the secret technique of Heavenly Spirit Sect be displayed by Yi Tianyun? In the case of everyone being stunned, Yi Tianyun relied on this amazing movement technique, quickly escaped from the state of being locked. The next moment, he appeared behind Zhao Feng. Following that, he punched forward fiercely. The frost fist immediately shone with a blue light, and cold air quickly drifted out, enveloping the falling Zhao Feng in an instant. In an instant, his movements became extremely slow. He wanted to turn around and fight back, but his speed was greatly reduced, he can't keep up. Boom. In the end, the fist slammed into Zhao Feng's body. With a boom, Zhao Feng was sent flying, the frigid energy invading his body. It just so happens that he took Berserk Pill. Under the alternating cold and heat, his body actually has a trace of cracks. Bang! With a fall, he fell heavily to the ground. After a big mouthful of blood, his head tilted. He actually died. After taking Berserk Pill, the side effect is already strong. After the overload burst of power, he was attacked by Yi Tianyun. The blood vessels in his body immediately burst. It's hard not to die. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for successfully killing Heavenly Spirit Sect disciple Zhao Feng. Gained 700 EXP, 30 crazy point. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for completing a side quest. Gained 10,000 EXP, Divine Armor, and 100 gold. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for leveling up. Reached first level of Spirit Refinement Realm. Yes, after half a month of hunting demon beasts outside, his cultivation has reached the peak of Body Refinement Realm. After completing this quest, he completely stepped into Spirit Refinement Realm. Chapter 12. This is really cool. I got a lot of things after completing this task. I got a divine armor and 100 gold, it's enough for a while. For this reward, Yi Tianyun is still very satisfied. The only regret is that the treasures they dropped are still too little. But it is understandable. They are not bosses, they can only be regarded as ordinary monsters, so the things they dropped are still relatively limited. Look at my attributes now. Unknowingly, I have broken through to Spirit Refinement Realm. This speed is quite good. Yi Tianyun only thinks that this speed of leveling is not bad. If it is known by others, they will really vomit blood. From the beginning, cultivation is not good. In just half a month, he broke through to Spirit Refinement Realm. This can only be regarded as good. This is simply a monstrous genius. Player, Yi Tianyun level 11, first level of Spirit Refinement Realm, EXP, Crazy Point, 698 points Cultivation Technique, Dark North Divine Art, Human level, Proficiency, Skills, Absorbing Stars Great Technique, Human level, Proficiency, Eagle Claw Art, Falling Feather Sword Technique, Floating Cloud Steps Weapon, Frost Fist, Common Iron level, Proficiency, Armor, Snow Wolf Boots Divine Ability, Crazy Mode Eagle Claw Art and Falling Feather Sword Technique cannot be leveled up, the max level is already human level, the skill level is relatively low, there is no potential for improvement. To put it bluntly, using so many is equal to waste. But his skills are relatively few, so he can only make do with it. Looking at the proficiency increased a lot, he felt satisfied. He has to say that the proficiency increase is relatively slow. If there were not too few monsters in this snow mountain, he would have leveled up a long time ago, not just a few hundred proficiency. If experience card can also improve the proficiency, it will be really great. However, experience is experience, it has nothing to do with proficiency. In addition, He is finally qualified to open the 11th level gift bag. This thing is not level 10, but level 11 to open. However, it is normal to be able to open this gift bag after stepping into Spirit Refinement Realm. It can be regarded as a big realm to open this gift bag. While he was checking the attributes, Zhao Hualong and the others were completely dumbfounded. This is impossible. Zhao Hualong felt his chest tighten, and he was so depressed that he wanted to spit out a mouthful of blood. He won all 3 matches in a row, and he was not even out of breath. Their weapon was that glove, and they even displayed the martial arts that they were so proud of. What exactly did this mean? Not only had 3 of his disciples been killed, but he had also lost his spot in the ancient ruins and his pills. This drove him crazy. He wanted nothing more than to kill Yi Tianyun with a single palm strike. If they were outside, he would have been killed with a single palm strike. This is too fierce. Was that the floating cloud step just now? How did Yi Tianyun learn Heavenly Spirit Sect's martial arts? What's going on? Did he use the floating cloud steps? And in terms of speed, it seems to be even faster. After everyone came back to their senses, they were incomparably shocked. Compared to the previous 2 battles, this one was even more shocking. How could a disciple of Jade Palace know Heavenly Spirit Sect's martial arts? The main reason why Yi Tianyun can show faster speed is that he is equipped with snow wolf boots. Although it's not visible on his feet, but when he runs, his speed will be greatly increased, at least twice as fast, naturally far more than Mo Cheng showed before. Elder Zhao, this match is your Spirit Sect's loss. Shi Shuiyun looked at them coldly, and the result is that they lost. Spirit Sect's disciples were unwilling, they came here full of confidence, but they were defeated. This shame can be imagined. He is not a disciple of Jade Palace. Jade Palace has never accepted male disciples. This doesn't count at all. That's right. Jade Palace has always accepted female disciples. This man is not a disciple at all. At most he can be regarded as an outer disciple. Spirit Sect's disciples think that this match doesn't count. Jade Palace has always been a female disciple. This time a man came up. How can it count? These cheeky disciples. Yi Tianyun can't help but despise them. If it doesn't count, why did they let him come up to compete in the first place? Isn't this a clear slap in Zhao Hualong's face? Yi Tianyun joked at Zhao Hualong. Elder Zhao, is your disciple slapping your face? How did you learn our Spirit Sect's martial arts? Zhao Hualong avoided this topic, staring coldly at Yi Tianyun and asked. I learned it in a few glances. Do you think I stole it from your Spirit Sect? Yi Tianyun said indifferently. If you really stole it, then it's because your Spirit Sect is too weak. Shi Shuiyun added coldly. Elder Zhao, now you lost, what else can you say? Zhao Hualong's expression was extremely ugly. Things had already come to this. No matter what, they had already said that the duel would definitely be valid. But now 3 disciples are dead, and he also lost his spot. How can he not feel distressed? It's even more humiliating. Zhao Hualong stared coldly at Yi Tianyun and said, no matter how you learned it, you can't use our martial arts in the future. This is Spirit Sect's proud martial arts, of course, they can't let others use it casually, but it's impossible to destroy Yi Tianyun's cultivation. I learned it myself, it has nothing to do with you. Yi Tianyun said indifferently, but it doesn't matter if I use it or not. If you hold on to this point, isn't it too against the rules? Where's my reward, and this time's spot? Zhao Hualong stared at Yi Tianyun, his eyes are full of killing intent. Immediately, he threw the medicinal pill and a metal token to Shi Shuiyun, turned around and said with a gloomy face, return to Sec. He has no face to continue to stay here, and quickly left with the others. Looking at Zhao Hualong's figure, Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed, it seems that they are enemies. But he looked at Zhao Hualong's shining golden name above his head, he really wants to punch him, kill this boss level, don't know what kind of treasure will drop. After Spirit Sect's disciples left, Jade Palace's disciples cheered, they won the martial arts competition between the 2 sects. All of this is brought by Yi Tianyun, if they go up, they will definitely lose. None of them can match Mo Cheng, they will definitely lose if they go up. You defeated 3 Spirit Sect's disciples in a row, Tianyun, I'm afraid your cultivation has broken through to the peak of body refinement realm. Shi Xueyun estimated from Yi Tianyun's strength. But this is already the information of the past. He is now first level of spirit refinement realm. Well, a little higher. Yi Tianyun touched his nose and smiled. He can't hide it from Shi Xueyun. Chapter 13. How did you break through to spirit refinement realm? How did you cultivate? You obviously couldn't cultivate before. You have to tell me what's going on. Shi Xueyun pulled Yi Tianyun and walked down the stage. Because the matter is over, Yi Tianyun has no problem, so she pulled him aside to talk. In fact, a few days ago, a mysterious expert came to help me, and I was able to cultivate, and I had a breakthrough in my cultivation. Yi Tianyun thought for a moment, and then he came up with an excuse to explain himself. In fact, a few days ago, a mysterious expert came to help me, and I was able to cultivate again, and I had a breakthrough in my cultivation. This explanation is of course very bad. It can be said to be very bad. But it is this bad excuse, but it is the best explanation at the moment. It is impossible to say that he transmigrated, and then obtained this system to level up and cultivate, right? Mysterious strong person? Shi Xueyun's eyes lit up, immediately believing most of it. This is not impossible. In this world, anything is possible. Is it someone sent by your father to help you? Yi Tianyun's parents ran away, but they are not dead. It is not clear where they are, but Shi Xueyun knows that the reason why the palace master left must be to follow a super genius. If it is not a super genius, with the identity of the palace master, it is impossible to see him. Yi Tianyun smiled and said, "This is very likely. The mysterious strong person did not disclose any information. He only told me to cultivate, otherwise I will not have the strength to win this game." Shi Xueyun thought for a while, and then said, "The mysterious strong person did not say anything?" Yi Tianyun shook his head and said, "This he did not say. After explaining, he left. He told me to cultivate. He did not say anything else. He should be doing something. But you have been showing a lack of blood qi. Even I was fooled." Shi Xueyun looked a little angry, but the expression on her face is not angry at all. Yi Tianyun scratched his head and said embarrassedly, "This is also to give aunt a surprise." He sighed in his heart. This is not pretending, it is simply a lack of blood qi. What a big surprise. Shi Xueyun reached out and knocked his head. She snorted and said, "I'll teach you a lesson this time. I still have work to do later. You go back and rest first." Yi Tianyun smiled and returned to his room. As for Shi Xueyun, she was busy with her own matters. Just as this matter ended, Sister Xiaolian quickly caught up to him and excitedly clenched her fists. "Young master, your performance just now was really amazing." She had always seen Yi Tianyun being looked down upon, and she had always felt sorry for him. Now that Yi Tianyun had soared to the sky and used his own strength to prove himself, how could she not be excited? "Don't worry, it will be better in the future." Yi Tianyun squinted his eyes. His future achievements would naturally not be limited to this. After returning to his room, Yi Tianyun finally had the time to open the level 11 gift pack. Open the gift pack. When Yi Tianyun said this, he was still very excited. He doesn't know what will appear in the gift pack. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining basic mastery of all professions, basic alchemy, basic divine rune, basic blacksmith. 1 lucky draw ticket, level 15 gift pack. Yi Tianyun was surprised after a moment. He didn't expect to get these basic skills. These are of great help to him. He learned a lot of mastery at once, which means that he suddenly became an all-rounder. Although it is a basic level, it is already equivalent to the existence of the 3 middle level in this world. In this world, no matter what profession, it is divided into first level, second level, third level, fourth level, fifth level, master, grandmaster, and creator. The existence of the third level, no matter what field, is considered a good level. At least it is not the level of beginner. For example, a third-level alchemist is enough to refine a lot of good pill. In the entire Jade Palace, there is no alchemist, which is enough to see the rarity of this. This is related to the attribute of their body. Because they are inclined to the ice attribute, there is a conflict in alchemy. Therefore, Jade Palace is asking outside help to refine pills, or forge weapons and so on. They are mainly asking for help. Now that he has these abilities, it means that he can help here to forge weapons or alchemy. Although they are all at the basic level, But if I practice more, I will upgrade the corresponding level. These abilities will naturally upgrade, and proficiency will come out, which requires more time and materials to practice. But as long as he practices more, he can upgrade, unlike others who need a lot of practice. But now there is another chance to draw, I don't want to waste it. Yi Tianyun is now more concerned about this chance. Last time he got Frost Fist, he doesn't know what he can get this time. Open the lottery system. A lottery wheel immediately appeared in front of him. No one around can see it, only he can see it. Immediately he reached out and pulled the joystick, and then the wheel began to spin quickly, the pointer constantly pointing to various categories. I must stop at the divine skill. I must stop at the divine skill. He screamed crazily. The most precious thing is the divine skill. He can feel this from the crazy mode. Everything will burst out twice the effect. Just thinking about it makes him excited. The roulette seemed to have heard his cry and began to slowly stop. Finally, the needle slowly stopped on the godly skill. I really got this divine skill, Yi Tianyun exclaimed, almost jumped up, followed by a gift bag falling from inside, and he caught it in his hand. After he opened it, a divine skill came into view. Luck Aura, increase luck by 5 times, consumes 1 crazy point per second. Luck Aura? Yi Tianyun certainly knows this, but when he saw the consumption, it's really annoying. Consuming 1 point per second, this is even worse than crazy mode. It really is a divine skill, even the consumption is so amazing. The consumption is a bit too scary, but the effect is good, increasing luck by 5 times. Can I pick up money while walking? He frowned, immediately went outside the courtyard, and then activated the luck aura. The crazy point quickly consumed 1 point per second. This made Yi Tianyun feel distressed, but he just wanted to see what kind of luck he can increase. He looked around to see if there will be any treasures falling, or looked at the sky to see if there will be any treasures falling. Young master, what are you doing? At this time, Sister Xiao Lian came over and looked at Yi Tianyun curiously. When she came over, she suddenly slipped and fell into Yi Tianyun's arms. Fortunately, Yi Tianyun quickly hugged her, but when he wanted to say something, Sister Xiao Lian raised her head to speak, and just happened to kiss him on the cheek. Ah! I'm sorry, young master, I didn't mean to. Sister Xiao Lian shyly jumped out, her pretty face was red, she didn't expect to encounter such a situation. After saying that, she trotted all the way out. Although it was an accident, it was really embarrassing. Chapter 14. Then Yi Tianyun continued to use luck aura, and the result is really obvious. He also found a silver fragment in the corner. But there is no precious martial arts, or spirit fruit or anything like that. There is no such thing here, unless he is really lucky. It is estimated that the effect is dozens of times better than normal. Maybe if I use this outside, the effect will be much better. This point is naturally outside the forest. It is estimated that if he is lucky, he can really find some kind of heaven and earth treasure. For the time being, he stopped using luck aura. Every second consumption is still very distressing. Killing a snow wolf only gives him 5 luck aura, that means he can only last for 5 seconds, very little. When he was about to go out for a stroll, Xiao Lian came in again with a red face. She didn't dare to look at him directly. Young master, Palace Lord asked you to attend the Elder Council. Elder Council? Elder Council. Yi Tianyun immediately guessed that it is about him. His situation here has always been a big controversy, this time is no exception. Then I will go now, Sister Xiao Lian. Do you want to go? Yi Tianyun didn't continue to talk about that topic, in case Xiao Lian continues to be embarrassed. No, the Elder Council asked you to go. I am not qualified to go. Xiao Lian's situation is a little better, at least she can look up at him. Xiao Lian's talent is not high, she is just a small servant, dedicated to serving them, so naturally her status is not high. Yi Tianyun didn't say much. He lifted his foot and walked towards the Elder Council. Soon he came to the Elder Council lobby. Sitting in the front is Shishueyun, sitting on both sides are 3 elders, the rest are the elite disciples of Jade Palace, all of them are Spirit Refinement Realm, these elders are Core Condensation Realm, but they are much older than Shishueyun. Yi Tianyun just came in, everyone's eyes are looking at him, their eyes are very different. We have discussed it before. In general, there are 2 problems. The first is to let Tianyun become a disciple of Jade Palace. The second is he got the quota for Heaven's Immersing Ancient Ruins, so give it to him. Shi Shuiyun said solemnly, I don't know what problem do you have. It is undeniable that his performance is amazing, but since the establishment of Jade Palace, there has never been a male disciple. The rules cannot be broken, and if his cultivation is not high, he will be at a disadvantage in heaven's immersing ancient ruins. Moreover, he is now a sinner. Taking him in is already the greatest tolerance. The first to speak is the second elder Jian Yiping, looking at Yi Tianyun's eyes, is not friendly, completely repelling. Her words were very clear. The rules could not be broken. If one's cultivation was not up to standard, it was naturally impossible for him to get a place. Her words are very clear, the rules cannot be broken, the cultivation is not high enough, naturally cannot get the quota. I agree with second elder, the rules are the rules. Tianyun has never accepted a male disciple is a disciple. I agree with second elder's opinion, the rules are the rules, the male disciple has never been accepted. If we make an exception this time, it will definitely cause a lot of men from the outside world to come here, it will cause a lot of trouble to Jade Palace. Third elder Lu Sibing said. It is true that he has meritorious service, but after all, we cannot break the rules, we can compensate with other things, such as martial arts, we can let him choose some. Great elder Mo Yu's attitude is much better, at least she is not completely exclusive, just because of the rules, but with some compensation, it is better to talk. The three elders all chose to deny it, which didn't surprise him at all. It's just that he has contributed to Jade Palace, it is really disappointing to be treated like this. Other disciples, do you have any opinion? Shi Shuiyun's expression is very calm, no one can tell whether she is happy or angry. The surrounding disciples looked at each other and did not speak. The elders have already said what should be said, if they continue to say it, it will be the same as driving Yi Tianyun out of Jade Palace. Shi Shuiyun said solemnly, it seems that everyone chose to reject, then I will also say my opinion, Tianyun will become an official disciple, and the quota of heaven's immersing ancient ruins will be given to him. Yi Tianyun is stunned after listening to this, as expected of his aunt, the first thing she said is to favor him, and it is a big one. Palace Lord, this is absolutely not possible. This is not in line with the rules, it will ruin our reputation. Second elder immediately became anxious, he originally rejected this idea, and now he is even more against this result. Yes, if this gets out, it will definitely be a mess. For so many years, Jade Palace has never accepted a male disciple. Third elder said. Shi Shuiyun's eyes are cold, and solemnly said, if I remember correctly, the official disciple was actually recruited a long time ago, but later it was changed. Can't it be changed now? I didn't say that we will recruit male disciples in the future, now we only need to recruit one male disciple. What she said is true, in the past, Jade Palace did have a male disciple, and he was a grand ancestor. But because he ran away later, and abandoned the grand ancestor who founded Jade Palace with him, it led to the evolution of only recruiting female disciples. To be honest, according to the previous performance of Spirit Sect, if it is not for Tianyun, we will not only lose a quota, but also lose the face of Jade Palace. Compared to the rules, which is more important, reputation or rules? This sentence made everyone speechless. Shi Shuiyun's momentum overshadowed the three elders in one fell swoop. This is the momentum that a palace lord should have. This is not nonsense. Mo Cheng is enough to make them suffer. Under the body refinement realm, no one in Jade Palace can compete with her. But, Jian Yiping just wanted to say something, but Shi Shuiyun stared at her and said, Second elder, I know what you are thinking, you want to give this quota to your own direct disciple. Tianyun fought for this spot himself, and I didn't give it to him because I took care of him. If he was still a piece of trash who didn't have the slightest bit of strength and didn't contribute in this aspect, then I wouldn't have said a single word. Now the quota is fought for by him, and the reputation of Jade Palace is protected by him, so this quota is what he deserves. Yi Tianyun is stunned listening to this, as expected of a palace lord, this is the kind of domineering attitude. What she said is reasonable and convincing. If it is not for him, not to mention the quota, Jade Palace will lose face. Even so, he still can't get this quota. Jian Yiping's face is red with anger, she really thinks so, she wants her direct disciple to go to heaven's immersing ancient ruins, this is a great opportunity, how can she miss it? But now Shi Shuiyun directly exposed her idea, this is very embarrassing. His cultivation is too low, I can't agree. Even if he goes in, he won't have any advantage, he might even lose his life. Jian Yiping is definitely not willing. There is still nearly half a year before the start time. I think Qianyun will have no problem breaking through to the second level of spirit refinement realm. This is the minimum standard. Do you have any other opinion? Shi Shuiyun said indifferently. He broke through to spirit refinement realm? They are all stunned. They thought Yi Qianyun's cultivation is still in body refinement realm. They didn't expect him to break through to spirit refinement realm. It seems that he is ready to break through to the second level of spirit refinement realm. Yi Qianyun smiled indifferently. This is really a piece of cake, let alone breaking through to the second level of spirit refinement realm in half a year. It is estimated that there is no problem for him to break through to the third or fourth level of spirit refinement realm. But there is definitely a problem staying here. There is no problem going outside. But even so, he can't become an official disciple. This is not in line with the rules. At most he can only become an outer disciple. They still insist on this point. Okay, I will become an outer disciple. Shi Shuiyun readily agreed, making them stunned. They thought that Shi Shuiyun would argue for a bit. They didn't expect her to immediately agree. Anyway, for her, outer disciple and official disciple are almost the same. Anyway, she just wants a title, at least become a part of it. Qianyun, you have to work hard. When you enter heaven's immersing ancient ruins, it will be a great opportunity for you. Shi Shuiyun said earnestly. I will cultivate hard. Yi Qianyun looked at her serious expression and nodded. Ding. Successfully accepted the main quest. Complete heaven's immersing ancient ruins. Reward. Control of heaven's immersing ancient ruins, 100. 000 EXP, 100. 000 Crazy Point, Endless Sword. Chapter 15. Control of heaven's immersing ancient ruins. Can they still control it? Yi Qianyun's eyes flashed. Presumably they don't know about this situation, but because of the crazy leveling system, he can know the final outcome. If he can't complete it, then this main task will definitely not be completed. From this reward, it can be seen that the difficulty is definitely not low. Shi Shuiyun just said, second level of spirit refinement realm is actually equivalent to the minimum standard to enter, and this is still the minimum standard, which means that he needs to be stronger to stand firm inside. He was immersed in the surprise of the reward, but the other elder's face is not so good, especially the second elder's face is even worse. It seems that her spot as a disciple is going to fly away. But she can't refute it, she can only accept it as an outer disciple, but this is an exception. An outer disciple in spirit refinement realm, this is really rich and overbearing. At this age, to have this kind of cultivation, he is definitely a core disciple, the target of key training. He can even become a candidate for the Palace Lord in the future, but he is a man, so becoming the Palace Lord is unlikely. I don't know the elders, do you have any other opinions? Shi Shuiyun looked at the three elders and asked again. No opinion. They looked at each other and could only reveal a bitter smile. Their Palace Lord has said so, what else can they say? Yi Qianyun meets all the conditions, his cultivation is also in line, and he is only an outer disciple. This point they can only agree. Although the second elder is unwilling, she can only agree. No opinion, ready to start forging weapons. I don't know if the blacksmith has arrived. Shi Shuiyun asked. He is already resting in the palace waiting. Shall we go now? The great elder asked. Let's go now, we can't neglect him. Shi Shuiyun turned to Yi Qianyun and said, now come with me, I will ask Master Kong to help you tailor a weapon. That boxing glove looks good, but choose a sword, or a spear, it will undoubtedly help you in fighting. They always felt that it was better to use weapons from a distance. Getting close was tantamount to courting death. If he got close, it was basically the same as being attacked, so he had to at least use a long sword. This was better than having to stick close to him to attack, which would undoubtedly increase the difficulty. That's fine too. Let's go and take a look. Yi Qianyun definitely didn't think that his opponent could forge a good weapon. Although his frost fist was an ordinary grade weapon, its effect was amazing. Its special effect was what made this weapon precious. As for the weapons they make, can they use my crazy point? Obviously not. He would probably have to make it himself to have such an effect. Immediately, they came to the palace. This palace was mainly used to entertain distinguished guests. Undoubtedly, this Master Kong was a distinguished guest. As soon as he arrived, Yi Tianyun saw a middle-aged man sitting in the hall drinking tea leisurely. He looks rough and his body looks very burly. His cultivation is also not low, reaching the 5th or 6th level of spirit refinement realm. Although his cultivation was weaker than the elders here, he could still be called a master. The reason is very simple: he belongs to the 3rd grade blacksmith. He can forge a weapon of the spirit level. In this world, the status of a normal cultivator can only be regarded as ordinary, but this kind of special skill, if the level is good, can be called a master. Because the cultivation is good, does not mean that these special skills, but with special skills, the cultivation in the future will certainly not be bad. With this profession, whether it is the network or the status is higher than the normal. Master Kong, this time I will trouble you to help me forge 3 spirit tools. The price is negotiable. Shi Xueyun smiled and walked over. Her attitude was very decent. Even the palace lord has to be a little modest. The other 3 elders all greeted him with a smile, but this Master Kong had a high and mighty expression, and indifferently said to them, "Spirit tools are not so easy to make, and the price is not low. So, I can forge 3 spirit tools, but I have a few conditions, otherwise I don't want to forge." "What conditions?" Shi Xueyun asked. "As long as it is not too much, we can agree. In fact, my conditions are very simple. The first condition is to let my disciple join Jade Palace and become an outer disciple." Master Kong said. "This can." Shi Xueyun frowned, but finally agreed. Becoming an outer disciple is not a problem. After all, the disciples of Spirit Sect also came here to be outer disciple. Anyway, they are divided into different areas, generally will not interfere with each other. The second condition: the price of materials for 3 spirit tools is not cheap, but if you promise me the first condition, then it is easy to negotiate. But it is easy to negotiate. You can provide the materials, or provide the cost. Let me buy it myself. Master Kong said again. This is also no problem. The price of spirit tool is not cheap, but I don't know how much you want. Shi Xueyun asked. Not high, as long as 10,000 gold, that is enough. Master Kong quoted a shocking price. After they listened, they were stunned. 10,000 gold, this is a sky-high price. It's not that they can't afford it, but the price is a bit too high. It is equivalent to more than 3,000 gold to buy one. Under normal circumstances, it is mainly silver. This means that it is 100,000 gold. More than 30,000 gold, the price is amazing. This price, can you lower it a little bit? Shi Xueyun said with some embarrassment. Jade Palace is not a big sect, they can take out a lot of money, but it will be difficult to operate in the future. This price is very low. Palace Lord Shi, I believe you should know the price of spirit tool. If it is outside, it is at least 50,000 gold, I accept less. Master Kong said with a straight face. They looked at each other. They can only show a helpless smile, they really can't do anything about it. The price outside is indeed, as Master Kong said, 50,000 gold. Well, according to this price, Shi Xueyun can only compromise. The last condition is actually related to me. Master Kong smiled indifferently. What is it? Shi Xueyun frowned. This Master Kong really has a lot of conditions. In fact, it is not a difficult thing. It is that I fancy a disciple here. I don't know if she can become my Dao companion. If you can become my Dao companion, I will give you 3 spirit tools. When Master Kong said this, he is obviously looking for a good candidate. After listening, they frowned. They did not expect this Master Kong will make this request, but Jade Palace is not against marriage, as long as the 2 people are in love with each other. This is no problem, but who did you choose? Shi Xueyun asked patiently. A disciple named Xiao Lian. As long as she is willing to become my Dao companion, I will give you 3 spirit tools with both hand. Master Kong said with a smile. Sister Xiao Lian. Yi Tianyun startled. He did not expect it to be Sister Xiao Lian. Chapter 16. Then hurry up and let Xiao Lian come up. Second elder hurriedly signaled the disciple next to her to find Xiao Lian. After a while, Xiao Lian was brought up. She looked puzzled. She didn't know why she was called here. Palace Master, what's wrong? Xiao Lian came over and asked. This Master Kong is interested in you. He wants you to be his Dao companion. I don't know if you are willing. Second elder asked with a smile. Xiao Lian's talent is not high, so marrying him in exchange for 3 spirit tools is undoubtedly very cost-effective. No, I don't want to. Xiao Lian looked at Master Kong, and immediately shook her head and refused. After this refusal, Master Kong's face is not very good. He is Master Kong, a blacksmith with a promising future. His future achievements are limitless. He didn't expect that when he just arrived, she directly refused him. I am a 3rd-grade blacksmith. If you follow me, you will enjoy better resources. Even in the future, I will be promoted to a 4th grade, or even a 5th-grade blacksmith. Are you not willing to follow me? Master Kong's eyes were full of unwillingness, and he even roared. Thank you, Master Kong, for your kindness, but I don't want to find a Dao companion for the time being. I hope you can understand, there are other sisters in Jade Palace, you can choose them. Xiao Lian still refused this Master Kong. She doesn't care about this Master Kong, he can be promoted in the future. Damn, aren't you just a servant girl? How dare you refuse me? Master Kong felt a burst of humiliation, looked at Xiao Lian coldly, said, if you don't agree to be my Dao companion, then this task of forging spirit tool, you can find someone else. Xiao Lian, what are you thinking? Second elder hurriedly said, this is Master Kong, if you can marry him, you will become a phoenix from a sparrow. Isn't your family quite poor? If you marry him, you can have anything you want. Second elder doesn't want to see the cooked duck fly away. This is 3 spirit tools for free, how can they not be tempted? Master Kong coldly looked at Xiao Lian with a superior expression. His previous smile disappeared, revealing a cold expression. Get lost. Shi Xueyun coldly interrupted at this time, looked at Master Kong and said, I call you Master Kong, that is my respect for you. I didn't expect you to make things difficult for me. With this level of skill, I don't even want it. I will hire someone else to forge the spirit tools. It has nothing to do with you. The Palace Lord was indeed the Palace Lord. He immediately revealed his domineering aura. Who would want to touch his own servant? If she agreed, she would have nothing to say, but if she was forced, she would not be happy. What a good example of a sparrow turning into a phoenix. Sister Xiaolian has always been a phoenix, not a sparrow. Yi Tianyun also couldn't stand it at this time. He was not angry but laughed. Master Kong, it seems that you have done this kind of thing a lot. Isn't it just forging spiritual tools? I can also do it. He stood up and looked at Master Kong coldly. When he said that, they were all stunned. Even Shi Xueyun looked at him blankly. Becoming a blacksmith was not something that could be done in a short period of time. It required a long period of practice to become a blacksmith. Now, Yi Tianyun was boasting that he could forge a spiritual tool. Wasn't this a little too unbelievable? She could only think that Yi Tianyun said something out of anger to stop this Master Kong. You can forge a spiritual tool like this? Master Kong sneered and said, I heard that you are a waste without blood and chi. It seems that you won against the spirit sect. I don't know if those people of the spirit sect are crippled, they can even win against you. When Shi Xueyun heard this, her eyes were cold and murderous. Obviously, these words touched her bottom line. Yi Tianyun reached out and pulled her small hand. He immediately stood up and sneered, if I can forge a spiritual tool, what will you say? If you can forge a spiritual tool, then I will give this spiritual tool to you. In the future, I will walk with my head. Master Kong took out a long sword. It was indeed a good spiritual tool, but it can only be classified as a low-grade spiritual tool. Just a low-grade spiritual tool is already priceless, that is, 50,000 silver. At his level, he can only forge a low-grade spiritual tool, not a high-grade spiritual tool. His eyes were full of disdain. He felt that he was provoked. He didn't expect that after being rejected by a maid, he would be humiliated by a cripple. If you can't forge it, what will you say? Marry her to me, how about that? Master Kong sneered. Now even if Xiao Lian marries him, he will certainly not treat her as a wife, he will certainly treat her as a maid. He has always been praised by people, and after this humiliation, it is naturally impossible to be optimistic about Xiao Lian. Sister Xiao Lian is not a commodity, not a bet. Yi Tianyun said coldly, if I can't forge a spiritual tool, then I will cripple my own arm, How about that? Cripple your own arm? Master Kong was so angry that he laughed. Good, good. If you have the guts, cripple your arm, then you are worse than a waste. Well, I promise you. Forge it now. If you can't forge it, I will cripple your arm. If you can't do it, your Jade Palace will have to give me an explanation. Don't blame me for being impolite. Master Kong's cultivation is not high, but his network is good. At least he knows a few big families. It is not a problem to give some pressure to Jade Palace. No problem, I can forge it now. Just give me the materials. Yi Tianyun turned to look at Shueyun and said, Palace Lord, please give me the materials to forge a spiritual tool. I will forge a spiritual tool now. Ding. Player Yi Tianyun took the side quest Forge a spiritual tool. Quest reward is 5000 EXP, Immortal Fire. Immortal Fire, effect, never extinguish, can be used to forge a higher grade treasure, or alchemy, can also be used to attack. The grade is common grade. This side quest suddenly popped up in his mind. The reward is actually Immortal Fire. This thing is the best, although it is common grade, but it can also be leveled up. There is no pressure. This scene made them dumbfounded, especially the three elders. They all doubt whether Yi Tianyun is stupid, even dare to bet this kind of thing. Does he really know how to forge a spiritual tool? At such a young age, he can forge a spiritual tool. That is a great forging genius. Obviously, this is not in line with reality. Master Kong is in his 30s to have this level. Are you crazy? Even dare to say this kind of thing? Hurry up and apologize to Master Kong, second elder said sternly. Apologize? Why should I apologize? It's just a spiritual tool, I can also forge it. Yi Tianyun sneered, Sister Xiaolian, not everyone can marry, not to mention you are not a tool to exchange for a spiritual tool. Young master. Xiaolian covered her mouth, her eyes were red. Originally she was soft-hearted, thinking that she did something wrong. She also wanted to agree. She did not expect Yi Tianyun and Shueyun to stand by her side. Well said. Now I will take you to the forging room to forge a spiritual tool for them to see. Shueyun actually agreed to this matter, and did not stop him. Aunt, do you believe me? Yi Tianyun was startled. He thought that he would be rejected, and he didn't even call her Palace Lord, but Aunt. Chapter 17. Shueyun's words made Yi Tianyun's heart almost stop. This is the person who really trusts him, believes in his ability. Even if everyone doesn't believe in him, it's enough for her to believe in him. Yi Tianyun smiled faintly, and immediately said, Since Aunt believes in me so much, I will not disappoint Aunt's expectations. Immediately, under the leadership of Shueyun, they came to the temporarily built forging room, which was built according to Master Kong's previous ideas. Although it was a bit extravagant, considering that in the future, people will be invited to help forge weapons, so it was not a problem to build a forging room. However, this forging room was still relatively simple, but it was enough to forge a spirit tool. These are the materials to forge a spirit tool, but we only prepared 5 sets of materials, leaving 2 chances of failure. The implication of Shueyun was that Yi Tianyun could fail twice, but because he only needed to prove that he could forge a spirit tool, it was not a problem to fail 4 times. It's enough, for me, there is no failure to speak of. Yi Tianyun said indifferently. He was already very clear about the beginner blacksmith skills that he had obtained before, and he could definitely forge a good level of spirit tool. However, due to the limited level, it was also limited to the level of a low-grade spirit tool, but this was enough. No failure to speak of, really big talk, unless you have reached the level of a 5th-grade blacksmith. Has your level of forging reached the level of a 5th-grade blacksmith? Master Kong was not used to listening on the side. At his current level, the success rate of forging a spirit tool was basically 50%, and he did not dare to guarantee a 100% success rate. Yi Tianyun's words immediately made him unhappy. It's impossible to be a 5th-grade blacksmith, but who said that to successfully forge a spirit tool, one must be a 5th-grade blacksmith? Yi Tianyun said lightly, and immediately looked at Shueyun and said, What kind of weapon do you need to forge? A long sword. We basically use long swords here. Shueyun said. Yi Tianyun nodded, came to the side of the materials, selected a set of materials to forge a spirit tool, and came to the furnace. This furnace is filled with ordinary flames, so the difficulty of burning is undoubtedly a little bit more difficult. But this is not a difficult thing for him. Relying on this point, he can successfully forge a spirit tool. Stop putting on an act. I'd like to see how long you can put on an act. Master Kong thought that Yi Tianyun was bluffing, deliberately trying to suppress the price, or something else, which was equivalent to rejecting him. After all, Yi Tianyun's notoriety spread far and wide. He is a waste, even cultivation is difficult, how can he forge a weapon? Yi Tianyun completely ignored him, ready to start throwing the materials into the furnace. The three elders next to him are full of uncertainty, they are full of doubts about Yi Tianyun, but they also look at their palace lord. They feel that the palace lord spoils Yi Tianyun too much. If he fails, not only will he lose a lot of wealth, but he will also provoke Master Kong. This is simply a double loss. Palace lord, if we fail. Great elder can't help but say. I know what I'm doing. Shueyun lightly replied. Palace lord, you can't be too willful, I know you spoil him, but you can't spoil him too much. If we fail, how can we explain it? How can we enter the heavens immersing ancient ruins without a suitable weapon? Second elder directly went crazy. She originally fought for a spot for her disciple, now if they fail, they won't even have a weapon. The price of these materials is not cheap, so every failure is extremely distressing. All the consequences, I will bear. Shueyun responded so lightly. Second elder immediately retreated to the side and stopped talking. Her eyes flashed with a bit of dissatisfaction, but she is not the palace lord, so she can only follow along. The third elder didn't interrupt. The two elders before her had already been rebuffed, so there was no point for her to say anything. If we fail, we will report to the old ancestor, and then everything will be judged by the old ancestor. Second elder suddenly added. In Jade Palace, the most senior is not them, but those old ancestors who retired in seclusion. Their cultivation is unfathomable, as the most powerful backing. As you wish. Shueyun said lightly. This sentence made her so angry that she almost wanted to curse. She was also thinking for the sake of Jade Palace. Palace Lord, how about I promise? Xiaolian feels that things have become too big, she whispered to Shueyun. But before she finished, Shueyun said indifferently, trust Tianyun. Xiaolian looked up at Yi Tianyun, and her beautiful eyes were a bit more determined. During the conversation, Yi Tianyun threw all the materials into the furnace and began to quench. Haha, it turns out to be a fool, throwing all the materials in one breath, you are a fool. Even if you want to pretend, you don't have to be so fake, okay? Master Kong pointed at Yi Tianyun's behavior and laughed, his eyes look like he is looking at an idiot. Yi Tianyun is unmoved, still maintaining the weapon forging speed, not fast nor slow, running the spiritual power in his body, continue to quench the weapon. Other elders looked at each other, but they can only endure. Before Shueyun said that, they can't say anything. It's a pity, such a good material is wasted. If it was me, I can't say for sure that I can forge it, at least 50%. It could have been a spirit tool, but now it has become a pile of waste. Master Kong laughed, feeling that everything is so ridiculous. Yi Tianyun is still unmoved. No matter how Master Kong scolds him, he continues to forge. As time goes by, the furnace did not explode, the materials inside did not become waste, but gradually began to take shape. It formed the shape of a long sword, and then under constant quenching, it became smaller and smaller, looking more and more like a long sword. At this time, Master Kong's laughter came to an abrupt end, his face stiff looking at the long sword in the furnace. If he failed, this will not happen, but directly scrapped. This is impossible. To do this, you need a strong control to be able to forge it in one go. This is absolutely impossible. Master Kong began to panic. The reason why he thinks that this method will fail is not that this method will fail, but it requires a strong control to forge it. Chapter 18. When Master Kong saw Yi Tianyun's situation, he panicked, especially when he saw Yi Tianyun's steady refining. He felt flustered. In his heart, he can only scream crazily, hoping that Yi Tianyun will not succeed. He must fail. Otherwise, he will lose face, and he will lose a spiritual tool. At this time, Master Kong closed his mouth, and the three elders fell into silence. Although they don't know how to refine tools, at least they can see a little bit. In front of them, Yi Tianyun is quite steady, there is no sign of failure. Can he really succeed? They are all stunned. If this is the case, Yi Tianyun is really a super genius. He can reach this level at such a young age. What can he do in the future? Not only is his cultivation not low, he can also refine tools. How did he learn this? They can't help but look at Shi Xueyun. Could it be that Shi Xueyun secretly let Yi Tianyun cultivate? Otherwise, they really don't know how Yi Tianyun cultivated. In fact, not only them, even Shi Xueyun is stunned. Refining tools is not easy, it is even more difficult to cultivate. The mysterious expert who came to teach him is so powerful that he immediately learned how to refine tools. No matter what they think, Yi Tianyun continues to control the furnace, quenching the long sword inside the furnace. As time passes, the residue on the surface is gradually quenched, and what remains is a bright long sword. It can be foreseen that he will succeed. Ready to come out? Yi Tianyun shouted, and immediately hit the furnace with his palm. Dong, the long sword flew out. After spinning a few times in the air, it fiercely inserted into the ground. A cold air emitted from the surface, representing the effect of the ice attribute. Among the materials used to forge the sword, there are some with cold attribute, so the effect is so amazing. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for completing the task. Obtained 5,000 experience points. Immortal Fire. Obtained 5,000 experience points, but the level did not increase. Inextinguishable Flame, on the other hand, fell into his skill column and became a unique skill. Not only that, but he also gained proficiency. On top of the original foundation, he had added 10 points. This number was not bad, but he still needed to refine 100 of them to be able to continue to level up. However, if one wanted to refine a higher level spiritual artifact, the experience points would definitely be higher, but it would undoubtedly increase the chances of failure. If he were to refine a low-grade spirit weapon, there would definitely be no chance of failure. From the system's point of view, the success rate was 100%. That was why he boasted that he would definitely not fail. Master Kong, can you confirm if this is a spiritual tool? Yi Tianyun said coldly. There was no need to confirm this at all. As long as one was not blind, they would be able to see that this was a spiritual sword. Although it was a low-tier one, at least it was a success. This time, Master Kong's face turned ugly, and the three elders were stunned. In this way, did they still need to look at Master Kong's face? They can forge spirit weapons at will, directly reducing the cost to the lowest level. Jade Palace from now on said goodbye to the predicament of no blacksmith. Shi Xueyun pulled out the spirit sword, and with a chong sound, the spirit sword was pulled out, and cold light flashed. After a little wave, Shi Xueyun looked at Master Kong faintly and said, "This is indeed a spirit sword, Master Kong. Do you want to try?" "No need." Master Kong's face turned ugly, looking at Yi Tianyun with cold eyes. "I didn't expect you to really refine a weapon, deliberately pretending not to know how to refine a weapon to deceive me. When did I tell you that I don't know how to refine a weapon?" Yi Tianyun sneered. "You are willing to lose, hand over the spirit weapon, and later walk with your head." Master Kong's previous performance made him deeply disgusted. How can he so easily forgive this Master Kong? "Don't go too far. I lost this game, but you designed a trap to harm me. You didn't mean to ask me to forge a weapon," Master Kong retorted. "What a joke. If you weren't so aggressive, would I stand up?" Yi Tianyun sneered. "Our Jade Palace has never been easy to bully. Although they are all women, in this place, women are the real masters, not you. In this world, not only martial arts is respected, but also male power, so they look down on female cultivators." Now Yi Tianyun's words immediately made the three elders have a great change of mind, and their opinion of him has greatly changed. However, he wasn't the one who had the final say. Everyone else had the final say. His voice was simply too soft. "Sister Xiaolian has her own choice, she is not a commodity. I hope you can show some respect." Yi Tianyun added, "Now you can go, of course, walk with your head." "You want me to walk with my head? You are not qualified," Master Kong said coldly. "Then do I have this qualification?" Shi Xueyun walked out and looked at him coldly. "Master Kong, what you promised, should you do it?" Just now Yi Tianyun used his own arm as a bet. Master Kong just left a spirit tool, and it's over. Good, good. Master Kong gritted his teeth, turned and walked out, without looking back. "I will remember you, This matter will not end so easily. Go away. Yi Tianyun rushed over, aimed at Master Kong and kicked out. Master Kong screamed and was kicked out. The strength is not bad, but not fatal. He didn't expect him to be so bold, kicking out Master Kong. He certainly won't be so easy to calm down, provoking him. He will pay back 10 times. Master Kong not only forced them to marry, but also looked down on them. How can he let this go so easily? You brat, wait for me. Master Kong roared, if you have the ability, don't leave Jade Palace for the rest of your life. After he said that, he ran away directly. He is alone. Yi Tianyun has Shueyun to back him up, so he doesn't dare to be presumptuous. He can only retreat quickly. Palace Lord, this is too much. Master Kong's status in Sky Moon City is not low. If he really finds someone to pressure us, what should we do? Second Elder still thinks that Yi Tianyun did something wrong. I will take responsibility for this matter alone. I am just an outer disciple. What I do has nothing to do with Jade Palace. Yi Tianyun took all the responsibility on himself. This matter started because of him. If Master Kong retaliates later, he can do it to him alone, not to Jade Palace. The 3 elders are moved again. Yi Tianyun still has such backbone. Chapter 19. Shueyun once again showed her domineering level, making the 3 elders speechless, especially the second elder. Even if Yi Tianyun can hold his head high now, he still can't help but scold him. All this is because she is too timid, thinking that everything should be low-key, but this is no longer low-key. Excessive compromise will only make people think that she is easy to bully. Palace Lord, you can't be too rash. If it really triggers a war, it will be extremely disadvantageous to Jade Palace. Third Elder couldn't help but stand up and speak. It seems that you are all too worried. Do you think this Master Kong can set off a big storm? He is just a 3rd-level blacksmith. Tianyun's level is higher than him. If he really spoke out, who would be willing to stand beside him? Shueyun solemnly said. If Yi Tianyun's level is better than Master Kong, those families must be willing to lean to his side, not to Master Kong. They want the strong, not the weak. Tianyun's level is a little higher, but overall not much higher. This can't form a big advantage, plus he doesn't have any connections. Second Elder retorted again. So you're saying that if my level is much higher than his, you guys won't have anything to say? Yi Tianyun said indifferently, if that's the case, then I will refine a few more spirit swords, and the elders will know the result. Although the elders are always against him, but it is undeniable that they are all thinking for Jade Palace. In order not to make things difficult for Shueyun, he can only stand up to help. Then, Yi Tianyun threw the materials into the furnace again and began to refine the spirit tool. The initial action is no different from before, but immediately a very hot flame was released from his palm, and then he threw it into the furnace and quickly quenched the spirit tool. The speed is a lot faster all of a sudden, and the speed of refining impurities is also improved a lot. What kind of flame is this? They were all stunned. Generally speaking, those who could possess special flames were experts who were born to play with fire. Otherwise, they would have absorbed special flames to be able to have such an effect. They didn't expect that Yi Tianyun also has this special flame. Shueyun also widened her beautiful eyes. She felt incredible. She didn't expect Yi Tianyun to be able to do this. It is beyond her imagination. They are all guessing how Yi Tianyun refined it, but they didn't expect him to add a special flame. Does it mean that he didn't expose his full strength in front of Master Kong? The actual situation is certainly not like this. Yi Tianyun must have used all his strength before. He just got the flame, otherwise how can he use it? Soon a spirit tool was refined by him, and after pulling it out, it fell in his hand. This spiritual sword was even stronger than the previous one. It was emitting a cold aura. This was at least a middle-grade spiritual weapon. Middle-grade spirit weapon. They were stunned when they saw it. The price difference between low-grade and mid-grade was huge. Not to mention the power, the price difference is about 2 or 3 times. For example, a low-grade spirit tool is 30,000 silver, then a middle-grade spirit tool will sell as high as 60 or 70,000. This number can only be higher. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for gaining 50 proficiency. After successfully refining a middle-grade spirit tool, his proficiency soared to 50 points, 5 times more than before. If he refines it in this way, It is not difficult to upgrade. This is also thanks to the immortal fire. When refining with the immortal fire, the level suddenly rose. Otherwise, with his current level of refining a middle-grade spirit tool, the success rate is only 30%, but with the immortal fire, the success rate can be increased to more than 80%. Fortunately, he did not fail, otherwise it would be embarrassing. It really is a middle-grade spirit tool. You can even refine a middle-grade spirit tool. They are all shocked. This is the strength that Yi Tianyun just said. This is the best proof. This time they have nothing to say. What else can they say? His strength was much stronger than that of Master Kong. When he stood at the side of the family, a group of people invited him to be a guest. 3 elders. I don't know this level, compared to that Master Kong. Yi Tianyun said indifferently. This I am convinced. Great Elder is convinced. She didn't expect that in the end, Shueyun's vision is the most correct. They are really old, they can't see clearly. Palace Lord, if there is nothing else, I will go back first. I will listen to your instructions in the future. Second Elder sighed deeply. She can't raise the slightest bit of rejection in her heart. With this level, her disciple is no longer qualified to compete with him. This is the benefit of one more skill, one more advantage. They can't compare. Third Elder also left. They have to go back to rest, but this matter is also a big impact on them. In the future, Shueyun's position is undoubtedly unshakable. As she said, Jade Palace can't continue to be bullied by others. This time the quota for Heaven's immersing ancient ruins is the same. Spirit Sect wants to forcibly snatch it, thinking that Jade Palace is easy to bully. That is to force a duel with them. Whoever loses has to give up a spot. Each force has different spots. Jade Palace only has 2 spots. If they lose before, there will be only 1 spot left. It will be even more embarrassing. After they left, Master Kong's spirit sword was pulled out by Yi Tianyun and handed it to Xiao Lian and said, Sister Xiao Lian, this spirit sword is for you. This. Young master, this is a spirit sword. Xiao Lian hurriedly refused. What spirit sword? Before that Master Kong bullied you. This spirit sword is for you. Yi Tianyun hurriedly refused. Since Tianyun gave it to you, just take it. This is still a low-grade spirit sword. You see, he can refine a middle-grade spirit sword. He can even refine a low-grade spirit sword. Shueyun motioned to Xiao Lian to take the spirit sword. Well, thank you, young master, thank you Palace Lord. Xiao Lian is excited. Getting a spirit sword is a great help to her. Many disciples in the palace don't have a spirit weapon, but she has one. Then I will continue to refine the rest of the materials, so that we have equipment. Yi Tianyun smiled and said, how about this? Take out all the materials. I will continue to refine a batch of spirit swords, so that all the sisters are equipped with spirit sword, so that no one will dare to bully our Jade Palace. Chapter 20. Since you said so, then I won't be polite. I will immediately order people to prepare the materials, and continue to forge a batch of spirit swords for you. Shueyun certainly won't be polite. Jade Palace usually has no money to hire a 3rd-level blacksmith to forge, and the cost is not low. The material cost is already a lot, and hiring a 3rd-level blacksmith, the price is not low. Now with Yi Tianyun's help, there is no doubt that they can use less money to forge more spirit tools. This is enough to improve the strength of the entire Jade Palace by a lot. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun, accepted the task. Complete the forging task arranged by Shueyun. The reward is 5,000 EXP, 10 points of favorability. Hey, another task is triggered. This time there is favorability. Yi Tianyun was stunned. He didn't expect this favorability to increase. Thinking about it, the previous tasks he did were not to help an individual, they were all group or enemy. Knocking down the enemy will obviously increase the hatred, not the favorability. What's special this time is that he has Shueyun's favorability. I don't know if I can see Aunt's favorability. Under Yi Tianyun's thoughts, he immediately saw Shueyun's favorability towards him, 330 points. He doesn't know what this concept is, but he quickly listed the standard. 0 points of favorability, passerby. 10 points of favorability, initial meeting. 100 points of favorability, good friend. 200 points of favorability, relative or lover. 300 points of favorability, inseparable in life and death. This is divided into these stages. There are also negative favorability, but he didn't see it. If Master Kong didn't leave before, he will definitely see negative favorability. Aunt's favorability to me is so high. Yi Qianyun was stunned. This is not very unexpected. The favorability is too high. It already belongs to the level of inseparable in life and death. Continue to increase favorability. Will it have any effect? What's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? Shueyun blinked. She didn't know why Yi Qianyun was staring at her. Nothing. I just think that auntie is really beautiful. Yi Qianyun smiled. Nonsense. Shueyun stretched out her hand and lightly hit him. Her pretty face blushed and she immediately snorted. I'll go prepare the materials first. You go get ready. Very quickly, she had people bring a lot of materials over. Yi Qianyun accepted all of them and started to forge weapons like crazy. Ding. Congratulations to player Yi Qianyun for successfully forging a mid-grade spiritual weapon, plus 50 proficiency points, 1000 experience point. Not only was he able to refine spiritual weapons, he was also able to obtain 1000 experience points. This was not a small gain. With a thought, he immediately activated crazy mode the next time he was about to successfully refine it, so that the experience bonus became twice as much. Although it consumed a bit of crazy point, it's still worth it. It's a pity that the proficiency didn't increase. Maintaining this situation, Yi Qianyun only activated crazy mode when he was ready to successfully refine, otherwise from the beginning to the end, no amount of crazy point is enough. Ding. Congratulations to player Yi Qianyun for successfully forging a mid-grade spiritual weapon, plus 50 proficiency points, 2000 experience point. His experience is skyrocketing. He is completely smiling while refining. Other people refining consume spiritual power, he also consumes spiritual power, but the return is visible. If he continues to refine, not only his cultivation will break through, but his forging level will also increase. Soon, all the materials are finished. 8 spiritual weapons, in fact, is not a lot. The materials here are also very limited. Originally, Jade Palace's resources are limited. Naturally, they can't provide more. These materials were originally for Master Kong to continue to forge, but now it's his turn to forge. Ding. Congratulations to player Yi Qianyun for completing the quest, plus 5000 experience points, increase Shueyun's favorability by 10 points. Ding. Congratulations to player Yi Qianyun for successfully leveling up to 2nd level of Spirit Refinement Rel. The system sound immediately sounded. After completing this quest, the level suddenly increased. This is really just refining spiritual weapons, and you can easily break through. Who else can have this kind of treatment? Is that all? Yi Qianyun said to Shueyun. He is still a little bit unsatisfied. He wants to improve his forging ability, and also wants to increase the experience, the more the better. That's it for the time being. I can't believe it's a success. These are all middle-grade spirit tools. Shueyun is going crazy. So many spirit tools. This will undoubtedly make Jade Palace more powerful. Hehe, as long as Aunt let me refine, there is no problem. By the way, is there any spirit medicine? I can also refine pills. Yi Qianyun laughed. You can also refine pills? Shueyun is dumbfounded. This is a little bit. Yi Qianyun touched his nose, a little embarrassed. After having immortal fire, refining will be a lot easier. Really? Shueyun hugged him and said ecstatically, great, if you can really refine pills like this, we don't need to look at other people's face anymore. Yi Qianyun touched his nose, feeling this warm fragrance. This benefit is very good, but we don't have any spirit medicine here, we can only go outside to buy. Shueyun didn't care too much, and immediately said, how about this, I will immediately order people to buy some, including refining materials. Buy some. Yi Qianyun's eyes lit up. He hasn't gone outside since he came here, and immediately volunteered, Aunt, why don't you send me down there to buy some, and sell some spirit tools to earn more money to subsidize Jade Palace? It's not a bad idea to let you go down there, you can treat it as an experience. Shueyun nodded, and immediately said, unfortunately, I can't go with you, but I can send someone to go with you. Well, I will send An Ling and Qin Shui to go with you, They are both companions who will enter heaven's immersing ancient ruins with you. Take this opportunity to get familiar with them, so it will be easier to cooperate with them. No problem, I will do as Aunt said. Yi Tianyun smiled. This is also a good idea. He can act with them, increase the degree of tacit understanding, and cooperate with them in heaven's immersing ancient ruins. If they are all cold, how can they cooperate? That's good, I will arrange it now. Shi Xueyun snorted happily, smiled and went outside to talk with the elders. Looking at Shi Xueyun's cheerful back, Yi Tianyun's heart warmed. In his impression, he rarely saw Shi Xueyun smile so happily. On one hand, she is busy with Jade Palace's affairs, on the other hand, she is busy with his affairs. How can she smile? Chapter 21. In a blink of an eye, a few days passed. Shi Xueyun has arranged everything. Let Ling and Qin Shui accompany him down the mountain to purchase materials. When he came to the lobby of Jade Palace, Shi Xueyun was already waiting there. She was discussing something with two young girls. When he approached, Shi Xueyun turned her head and smiled at him. Come here, this is Ling and Qin Shui. They will go with you to purchase materials this time. If there is anything you don't understand on the way, you can ask them. On the way, please take care of me, senior sister Ling and senior sister Qin Shui. If there is anything I didn't do well, please point it out. Yi Tianyun looked at both of them. Both of them were wearing white clothes, and in the eyes of ordinary people, they looked like celestial fairies that didn't belong to the mortal world. Both of them have reached the 5th level of spirit refinement realm, and with this level of cultivation, their temperament is naturally not bad. Yi Tianyun's attitude is good, he is very polite, and it is easy to make a good impression. When he looked up, he immediately checked their favorability towards him, 35 and 32 respectively. This level of favorability is only slightly better than the first time they met. Presumably this time there is a change. Even if he added 10 points of favorability, it will not increase by much. One could imagine that their favorability towards him was extremely low, and it was even possible for it to be in the negative. After going through some things, their favorability towards him would definitely increase. It is not necessary to do a task to improve favorability. The usual conversation, help will have an impact. Little junior brother, this time you won the quota for Jade Palace, and also got a lot of honor, plus you can forge. This time the two of us are probably just acting as guards. Ling and Qin Shui looked at each other, her beautiful eyes narrowed. It's my honor to have two beautiful senior sisters as my guard, Yi Tianyun said with a smile. The two senior sisters covered their mouths and smiled, feeling very happy. They are very beautiful senior sister, it makes them tremble. They don't have much contact with men, for such an excellent man, they don't hate him so much. Especially now Yi Tianyun is a big man, he is the only refiner in the entire Jade Palace, all the spirit tools are refined by him. Okay, it will be dark if we continue. Shi Xueyun rolled her eyes at Yi Tianyun, she didn't expect him to be such a smooth talker, praising both of them from ear to ear. Yi Tianyun smiled awkwardly and walked out with her. Outside the gate of Jade Palace, a carriage has been prepared, the coachman is an ordinary person, he will take them to Wind City. Take this storage ring, there is some gold in it, and the spirit sword you forged before, sell the extra spirit sword, buy more materials, then come back to refine. Shi Xueyun took it and handed him a ring. Yi Tianyun took it, his eyes lit up, he played with it a little bit. When he put the storage ring on his finger, he can see the things inside the storage ring. The size of the space is about dozens of square meters, not too big, there are a lot of gold and spirit swords inside. This thing is really good, it can store a lot of things, too many things on his back, it is not very good. When we come back, we will definitely return with a full load. Yi Tianyun smiled. Ding, accepted quest, purchase materials back to Jade Palace. Reward, 10,000 EXP, 1,000 gold, 1 lottery ticket, increase overall favorability by 20 points. It is not surprising to accept this quest, after all, this is also a quest issued by Shi Xueyun, but the reward is quite rich. Not to mention the golden 1,000 miles, 1 lottery ticket, and increase overall favorability by 20 points, this reward is quite high. After they sat in the carriage, Yi Tianyun asked, Senior sister Ling, are we going to Wind City to purchase? Yes, we're going to Wind City. Ling nodded. Wind City. Yi Tianyun squinted, He has never been to Wind City, but there is someone he knows, that is Master Kong. It was Master Kong who was driven back before. Master Kong seems to be in Tianfeng City and has some relationship with other powerful families. If they go down this time, they don't know if they will encounter them. I hope I don't run into you again. Yi Tianyun squinted his eyes. He still hasn't calmed down from the previous incident. If he wasn't afraid of causing trouble for Jade Palace, he would have already done it. After 2 days of travel, they finally arrived at Wind City, and it was safe along the way. Is this Tianfeng City? Yi Tianyun looked up. The huge city gate looks quite imposing. People come and go. From a distance you can see the bustling streets inside the city gate. The guards at the gate are all strong cultivators of spirit refinement realm. Their expression is serious. No one dares to provoke them at will. When they were just about to enter the city, there was a shout from behind. All of you get out of the way, don't block the way. Yi Tianyun looked out of the carriage and saw a carriage rushing over, completely ignoring any passers-by and rushing into the city. Along the way, many commoners didn't even have time to dodge and were sent flying by the sturdy horses. Some were whipped by the coachman and sent flying. They were extremely arrogant. The guards at the gate just wanted to stop them, but when they saw the decoration on the carriage, they quickly dodged to the side and shouted, "All of you stand aside, don't block the way if you don't want to die." The guards helped to shout at people to get out of the way, scared those who just wanted to enter the city gate, quickly dodged to the side. Although they are very unhappy, they can only watch the carriage rush over here, and rushed into the city gate in one fell swoop. The surrounding people were all guessing who exactly was sitting inside for him to be so overbearing. No wonder they are so arrogant. This is the carriage of Wing Sect, even if the rank of the force is not low, isn't this a bit too arrogant? Qin Shui shook her head. No way, they have the capital to be arrogant. Wing Sect is better than Spirit Sect. They are also one of the forces that entered the heavens immersing ancient ruins this time, occupying 4 places. And Ling sighed, this kind of force they can't afford to provoke. Wing Sect. Yi Tianyun squinted. It turned out to be a sect of blacksmiths. Wing Sect is a large number of blacksmiths, a place dedicated to training blacksmiths. The carriage just now was forged by them. If it is not a super strong person, it can't be destroyed at all. It can be said that the people inside are undoubtedly quite safe. Through this carriage, you can immediately see the level of Wing Sect. Just this carriage, the grade is equivalent to a high-grade spirit tool, really rich and overbearing. Chapter 22. Ding, do you want to accept the quest defeat the arrogant Wing Sect disciple Ma Liangpeng? The quest reward is 5,000 experience points, 500 forging skill proficiency points, 500 gold. When the carriage of Wing Sect disappeared in front of him, suddenly a voice sounded in his mind. Take it. Yi Tianyun subconsciously took it. After taking it, he suddenly froze. He did not expect this ability. This crazy leveling system, he has not thoroughly explored it. Now he can randomly accept the quest. In fact, it is equivalent to a random quest. Whether he wants to complete it or not, depends on himself. The overall reward is quite rich. There is no heaven-defying treasure. Generally these rewards will not have any heaven-defying things to speak of. There was only one thing that would drop, and that was to kill monsters. If I use the lucky aura and kill monsters, will there be more surprise rewards? Yi Tianyun immediately thought of a more perfect way. When he first played the game, what was the decisive factor for killing monsters? Of course, it is the character, that is, luck. Now with the lucky aura, will it not be able to burst out the reward? When he was thinking about it, An Ling's voice sounded in his ear. We're here, let's go down. Yi Tianyun came back to his senses, nodded and followed her down. In front of him is a towering elegant building, decorated extremely luxuriously. The exposed corners are plated with a layer of gold. The surrounding borders are plated with a layer of silver, looks quite luxurious. This is the place they came to this time, Wind Pavilion. There are things they want to purchase here, and they can sell their things, so that they can exchange for more gold to purchase. What a luxurious place. Yi Tianyun eyes lit up. Compared with the surrounding buildings, Wind Pavilion is more conspicuous. When they wanted to go in, there was a quarrel on the side. Everyone's attention was drawn over. What came into view was an ordinary girl with an ordinary appearance. There was nothing special about her, and she could be seen everywhere. She clung to a man's arm, her clear eyes were full of anger. Liu Li, you said you would give me 8 taels of silver. The price of jade spirit grass can't be so low. I have inquired about it from others. This jade spirit grass is worth at least 10 taels. Now you only give me 3 taels. The girl's eyes were filled with anger. Her clothes were tattered, and it was obvious that she was not wealthy. Liu Li used all his strength to shake off the dirty little hand that was grabbing onto him. However, this girl's grip was too firm. If she continued to pull, his clothes would be torn. Wind Pavilion is now buying jade spirit grass. The price is 4 taels. I only want 1 tael as a reward, not much. If you continue to talk nonsense, don't blame me for taking action. If it wasn't for the fact that you usually ask me for help, I would have beaten you up long ago. Now my clothes are going to be torn by you. Damn it, it's so dirty, how unlucky. Liu Li's face was full of anger. He was not a cultivator, but just an ordinary person. That's impossible. This was yesterday's news. How could the price suddenly become so low? You must have pocketed it. The girl was still pulling his clothes tightly and said angrily, "Give it back." At this time, Yi Tianyun and others who were watching from the side looked at each other. They didn't know whether they should go up and help. "Don't look, let's go in." Qin Shui shook her head. She didn't intend to help. In her opinion, they were just ordinary people. They were too lazy to care too much. And Ling, on the other hand, wanted to take care of it. She knew that Liu Li pocketed it. In this way, the little girl was quite pitiful. Not only Ling, even Yi Tianyun couldn't stand it anymore. He didn't say that he was a good person. But seeing this situation, it was clear that he was bullying the weak. Ding. Successfully accepted the quest. Help kind girl Zhu Lingyun, gained 1000 EXP, Zhu Lingyun's favorability increased by 100 points, 5 prestige points. Yi Tianyun didn't even listen to what the reward was. He went straight over there. For him, it doesn't matter how much the reward is. At this time, under the pull of Zhu Lingyun, his clothes were really torn. "My clothes are torn by you. Damn it, get out of here." In his rage, Liu Li raised his hand and sent a slap flying over. Facing this heavy slap, the young girl actually did not intend to dodge. She continued to hold on with her eyes wide open. She was not afraid at all. Pa. This slap didn't hit the girl's face. Instead, her hand was tightly grabbed by Yi Tianyun. "Friend, the price of the jade pill can indeed be sold for 10 silver taels. Aren't you bullying the weak?" Yi Tianyun frowned and said, "It's none of your business. Get out of here." Liu Li was angry. He shook his hand that was grabbed. He swung his fist toward Yi Tianyun's face. "Be careful." Zhu Lingyun unexpectedly blocked it. She wanted to help Liu Li block the fist. But before the fist came, a slap had already arrived. Pa. It wasn't Yi Tianyun or Zhu Lingyun who was hit. It was Liu Li who was hit. He was sent flying. Liu Li, who had been sent flying, tumbled a few times. His face was swollen, and a few of his teeth were knocked out. Trash. The person who attacked was none other than Yi Tianyun. "Bastard. You. Do you know who I am?" Liu Li crawled up. His face was swollen. He covered his bloody mouth and looked angrily at Yi Tianyun. "I don't know who you are, but I advise you to spit out the silver taels you stole. Otherwise, I don't mind giving you a few more slaps." Yi Tianyun took a step forward. His domineering aura was like a sharp blade that pierced through Liu Li. How could an ordinary person withstand the aura of a cultivator? Liu Li was frightened and his legs immediately went soft. Cultivator. Cultivator. Liu Li came back to his senses. Zhu Lingyun's anger made him dizzy. When he came to his senses, he quickly took out the silver taels. It was exactly 10 taels. Just like what Zhu Lingyun said before, the jade spirit grass was sold at this price. After he took out the silver taels, he kowtowed in fear and said, "Sir, I'm sorry. Please let this lowly one go. This lowly one will never dare to cause trouble again." He kept kowtowing. He was frightened by Yi Tianyun's aura. He knew that he had hit a nail on the head. How could he dare to keep even a little bit of silver? He took it all out. Scram. Yi Tianyun looked at him coldly. He didn't kill him. There were too many people like this. He was afraid that he would dirty his hands. After Liu Li got permission, he quickly ran away. He didn't even dare to look back. Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for completing the quest. You got 1000 EXP, 100 favorability points from Zhu Lingyun, 5 prestige points, 100 favorability points, directly soar to the level of good friend. It seems that this help is really not small. When Zhu Lingyun saw Liu Li running away, she hurriedly trotted over, picked up the silver tails, and then put it in her arms, carefully keeping it. According to the situation here, these 10 silver tails are enough to feed a family of 3 for a month. She paused for a moment, then took out 5 taels of silver from her bosom and handed it over, saying, "Benefactor, this is your reward. I can't give you too much, or else my brothers at home won't have enough to eat." Looking at the 5 silver taels handed over by Zhu Lingyun, Yi Tianyun shook his head and smiled, "I don't need this. I just don't know if you want to come with us. Join Jade Palace." Heaven, Jade Palace. She widened her eyes and immediately shook her head. My talent is very low, there is no way for me to join Jade Palace. Many sects will recruit people, and at the same time, they will test their talent. Those with low talent naturally can't join. Zhu Lingyun's talent was probably not very high, which was why she chose to reject the offer. Senior sisters, can she join Jade Palace? Not to become an official disciple, can she do some chores to take care of Jade Palace? Yi Tianyun asked. 2 fairy-like senior sisters came over, and Zhu Lingyun was stunned. "This is not a problem, and junior brother, you are a famous person in Jade Palace, there is no problem at all." And Ling looked at Yi Tianyun with twinkling eyes. Her beautiful eyes have a little more favorable impression. Obviously, this action made her a lot of favorable impression, although Qin Shui next to her didn't help, but when she saw Zhu Lingyun, she couldn't help but soften. "In that case, are you willing to come with us?" Yi Tianyun smiled. He didn't mean anything else, he just wanted to help. He felt that this girl's eyes are very clear, plus when Liu Li counterattacked, she didn't even think about it, let go of his hand to help him block the attack. Chapter 23. Is it really possible? Zhu Lingyun looked up, her clear eyes were full of desire, but immediately shook her head and said, "Then I'll think about it. She didn't immediately agree, she didn't even know Yi Tianyun's name, how could she immediately agree? This surprised Ling and the others. If it was someone else, they would have already agreed, why would they need to think about it? Yi Tianyun didn't know what she was thinking, he asked softly, "Is it because of your brother?" How do you know?" Zhu Lingyun's eyes widened, she couldn't believe it. "You said it yourself before, leave some money, isn't it for your brother?" Yi Tianyun immediately judged the reason, from her tattered clothes, he knew that her family is definitely not very good, she didn't want to leave, it must be to take care of her brother. This is. "I can't leave my brother, so I'm sorry for the time being." Zhu Lingyun clenched the corner of her clothes, she wanted to go, but she couldn't leave her brother. "Ding, do you accept the quest help Zhu Lingyun's brother? The reward is 1000 EXP, Zhu Lingyun's favorability increased by 50, prestige increased by 5 points. At this time, a quest popped up, it's really one after another, the reward is somewhat ordinary. Yi Tianyun can imagine why the reward is so low, because it's a more ordinary quest, and it belongs to the side quest type, naturally it will be a little lower. There is prestige. At this time, he checked his subordinates and suddenly froze. In his property bar, there really is prestige. Before he focused on Liu Li, he didn't pay attention to this thing, now he found that there is prestige. Player, Yi Tianyun level 12, second level of spirit refinement, EXP, crazy point, 670 prestige, 5 cultivation technique, dark north divine art martial arts, absorbing stars great technique, eagle claw art, falling feather sword technique, floating cloud steps weapon, frost fist armor, snow wolf battle boots, divine armor divine ability, crazy mode, luck aura proficiency, divine rune, forging, array, alchemy. Under his investigation, the effect of character value was displayed. Prestige increases luck. The higher one's prestige, the luckier they will be. Can be used anywhere. Looks like doing good deeds can increase my prestige. I wonder how much these few prestige points can increase the effect. Yi Tianyun thought for a moment. If he were to use the lucky halo in this situation, the effect would undoubtedly be greatly enhanced. Take it. Yi Tianyun immediately accepted the quest, and immediately smiled at Zhu Lingyun. Then take your brother back, we can recruit more people in Jade Palace. And Ling and the others were taken aback, but they didn't say anything. It's okay to accept one more person, anyway, it's just one more person to do odd jobs. Really? Zhu Lingyun was pleasantly surprised. Yes, but let's go buy something first, Yi Tianyun said to her. Then I will wait for you outside. Zhu Lingyun said, I can't go in. People from the slums can't go in. Wind Pavilion doesn't welcome people from the slums. The residents of the slums have no money, so there's no point in coming in. Even if they want to sell spirit herbs, they don't want to let them in. The main reason is that it looks so dirty, and the spirit herbs they brought in are just ordinary spirit herbs. It's really worthless to exchange them for a dozen silver. So if you want to go in, you must change into a set of good clothes and dress up a little. It's impossible for them to do this, the price they have to pay is not small. They can only ask someone to help them, and then give them some silver as a reward. With me here, you are the most distinguished guest, no one dares to touch you. Yi Tianyun said solemnly. Zhu Lingyun looked at his eyes and finally nodded gently. She hasn't entered Wind Pavilion before, so she still wants to go in. Yi Tianyun walked into Wind Pavilion with Zhu Lingyun. Just as they walked in, the guard next to them stopped them and looked at them coldly. Sorry, we don't welcome people from the slums here. The guard's aura is very strong, his cultivation level is around the 5th level of the body refinement realm. As a guard here, it proves that this place is not simple. She is my person, is there a problem with me bringing her in? Yi Tianyun's eyes are cold, and with a strong aura, the two guards' pupils shrank, the aura coming from Yi Tianyun made them take a step back, their backs are a little cold, this aura is much stronger than them. No problem, please come in. The guard's forehead is full of cold sweat, indicating that Yi Tianyun can go in. With such a strong cultivator brought in, they naturally don't dare to stop them. They don't let people from the slums in because they think that people from the slums can't afford to spend a lot of money. It's not absolutely forbidden for people from the slums to come in. Now that a cultivator is brought in, they will not stop them. Anyway, there will be no problem if there is a financial backer to bring her in. Besides, Zhu Lingyun doesn't have much money, her clothes are a little shabby, but the clothes are very clean, just a little faded, there is no dirt, and even a faint fragrance. This is the fragrance of wild flowers outside, obviously when taking a bath, she added some wild flowers. I really came in. Zhu Lingyun is very nervous, this is the first time she came here, she must be nervous, the most important thing is that she is worried that she will break something, with her current wealth, she can't afford to pay for it. What do you want to buy? Yi Tianyun asked. I don't want anything, I just want to come in and take a look. She shook her head, the prices of the things around here are not cheap, at least 100 taels, she has seen at most a few dozen taels of silver, how can she see a few hundred taels of silver? Seeing the price, she doesn't dare to say anything. Yi Tianyun didn't say anything, he took her in a circle, but he didn't see any good materials. Then he went up to the 2nd floor, and after walking around, he found that Zhu Lingyun's eyes are fixed on a bottle of pills, but when she saw the price, the hope in her eyes suddenly dimmed. This detail is easily caught by him, he took a look, this pill is called poison dispelling pill, as the name suggests, it is used to detoxify. But the price is not cheap, as high as 1,000 taels of silver. No wonder she didn't dare to ask, this price is enough to last for decades. Do you want this? Yi Tianyun pointed at the pill. She wanted to say something but stopped, immediately seems to have made a decision, nodded and said, I want this pill, I want to borrow some money to buy it, what do you want this pill for? Yi Tianyun asked. My brother is poisoned, he can't move his feet, I heard that this pill can cure him, I want to buy it for him. Her clear eyes flashed with hope, she put all her heart on her brother. That's good, take me to see your brother, I will treat your brother, if you only need this pill, I can cure your brother. Yi Tianyun smiled. Really? Zhu Lingyun is very excited. And Ling and Qin Shui next to her looked at each other, they are very puzzled, Yi Tianyun can also go to cure his injury? No problem, when we are done here, We will start to prepare. Yi Tianyun nodded. When he was ready to take them to buy materials, a familiar voice sounded in his ear. How can people from the slums come in? Has Sky's spirit building declined to this point? Really bad luck. When Yi Tianyun turned his head, he saw the acquaintance, Master Kong. Chapter 24. Master Kong came over. When he saw Zhu Lingyun, he didn't hide his disgust. Even if Zhu Lingyun didn't have any stench, but her ordinary clothes made him feel like he had eaten a fly. When he saw Yi Tianyun, he was a little surprised, and his eyes showed anger. I didn't expect it to be you. How can you be here? When he saw Yi Tianyun, he couldn't help but cover his buttocks. He still felt a dull pain. Being kicked by Yi Tianyun, even if his injury was healed, the humiliation did not go away. What's the problem with me coming here? Yi Tianyun's eyes were cold. This Master Kong is really arrogant. Just because he has some forging ability, he thinks he can do whatever he wants. Of course. Come on, let them all get out of here. They are not welcome here. Master Kong shouted to the guard next to him. And how can people from the slums come in? It's really bad luck. It's lowering the level of this place. I'm sorry, Master Kong. I'll let them go. The guard immediately changed his expression and said to Yi Tianyun coldly, we have a rule here. People from the slums can't come here. Please leave. Master Kong is a guest here, of course. He will listen to him, and will not choose to please Yi Tianyun. Yi Tianyun was angry. Why do you think she came from the slums? Can't she wear something ordinary? Those who don't have the ability to spend money here are from the slums. Please leave. The guard said coldly. Next to him, Zhu Lingyun bit her lips. She was worried that she would be driven out by others, and she will make Yi Tianyun lose face. I'll go out. When Zhu Lingyun was about to speak, a few pieces of gold fell into her hands. The price was equivalent to tens of thousands. What about this? Yi Tianyun said while suppressing the anger in his heart. This. When the guard saw Yi Tianyun's actions, he was speechless and turned to look at Master Kong next to him. We don't welcome you here. In any case, you are from the slums. It doesn't make sense to be humble. Master Kong said sarcastically. A tremor ran through Zhu Lingyun, and her eyes went red. She really wanted to retort, but this person had a high status, and she didn't dare to do so. Is that so? It's better than some people. Even if they wear luxurious clothes, they are still worse than animals. Yi Tianyun smiled faintly and patted her shoulder, indicating that she should not be so worried. Who are you calling a beast? Master Kong looked angry, pointing at Yi Tianyun. If you think I'm insulting you, then so be it. I don't care about that. Yi Tianyun turned to look at the guard and said in a deep voice, who is he to you? Is it because he is a guest that you treat him like this? Yes, I am a guest here. I have the right to let you leave. Master Kong said coldly. Kick them out. He motioned the guards on both sides to rush forward, although he wanted to beat up Yi Tianyun, but if Shishuayun knew about it, he will be in trouble. His status is not low, but it doesn't mean that he can compete with Jade Palace. He is just a guest. Where is the manager here? I have something to say to him. Yi Tianyun said indifferently. You want to see the pavilion master? Master Kong sneered, very disdainful of him. What's wrong? At this time, an old man came from the side. Such a big movement, it's impossible not to attract people. Pavilion Master Liang, you came at the right time. He not only hurt me before, but also brought people from the slums. I feel that he brought some bad luck to Wind Pavilion and affect other guests. Master Kong said coldly, please kick them out. Huh. Pavilion Master Liang looked at Yi Tianyun, frowned, just wanted to say something, but when he saw An Ling and Qin Shui, he was a bit surprised. Pavilion Master Liang, don't you think your guest is a bit too rude? We are from Jade Palace. What's wrong with bringing people in? Are we not guests? Qin Shui couldn't help but stand up and said. Master Kong's words are really ugly, and they don't mind, but Master Kong does. It turns out that you are from Jade Palace. No wonder you two have such extraordinary temperament. Pavilion Master Liang smiled, and immediately said to Master Kong, those who come are guests, and they are from Jade Palace. Why are you angry? Harmony makes money. Harmony makes money. Pavilion Master Liang doesn't want to offend either side. On one side is Master Kong, their guest. On the other side is Jade Palace, although this force is not big, but it is still a good force, and also not easy to provoke. Wind Pavilion itself is not bad, but it is neutral, so they don't want to cause trouble and have friction with any sect. Pavilion Master Liang, I will say this, if you let them continue to stay here, then I will leave. Master Kong is angry, put down the words, let Pavilion Master Liang make his own choice. Pavilion Lord Liang's face changed, but he didn't think about it for too long, and immediately said to Yi Tianyun and Yi Tianyun, this is too embarrassing, please leave this place. Yi Tianyun said his words were already relatively polite, but his words made Qin Shui and An Ling so angry that they wanted to draw their swords. They didn't expect that the name of Jade Palace is not as good as this Master Kong. In fact, the name of Jade Palace is certainly more famous than Master Kong, but Master Kong is a guest, he can help them forge spirit tools, which means the meaning is different. You guys are bullying us. It doesn't matter, this place, we don't have to come here. Pavilion Master Liang, remember your choice today, some people staying here is not necessarily good for you. Yi Tianyun reached out to stop Qin Shui, motioned them not to be impulsive, and then immediately left with his people. Humph, you want to fight with me, Wind Pavilion is my territory. Master Kong is happy, seeing Yi Tianyun and Qin Shui's face, he is particularly comfortable. Pavilion Master Liang frowned, and immediately shook his head, and did not say anything. After they left, Zhu Lingyun burst into tears and said apologetically, I am sorry, it's all because of me that this happened. This is not your fault, in fact, this Master Kong has a grudge against us, it has nothing to do with you. Yi Tianyun looked up, there is also a building in front of him, but compared to Wind Pavilion, this one is obviously not as luxurious, but it is also a business, called Rain Pavilion. The two have always been in a competitive relationship, but now it is obvious that Wind Pavilion is slightly better. They can't enter Wind Pavilion, so they can only buy in this Rain Pavilion. Let's go to this one, I will make them regret their choice. Qin Shui and An Ling looked at each other, they don't know what Yi Tianyun will think, but they can only go with this little junior brother. When they came to this Rain Pavilion, the waiter just opened his mouth, he threw out 10 middle-grade spirit swords, and said, I came to sell these, and at the same time, I intend to use your Rain Pavilion to advertise. Chapter 25. Ding, successfully accepted the quest Help Rain Pavilion Suppress Wind Pavilion, reward, 5,000 EXP, 100 favorability points from ZUA, 500 gold, 10 prestige points. After coming in, Yi Tianyun accepted the quest, he didn't expect it to increase his prestige. As for who ZUA is, needless to say, she must have a very close relationship with Rain Pavilion. It seems that the quest is everywhere, there are too many random quests, I can't stop. His eyes flashed, not only can he abuse people, but he can also get rewards, why not? He feels that his cultivation can improve by several levels if he goes around here. At that time, he will be able to crush everyone in heaven's immersing ancient ruins. The waiter was shocked by the number of spirit swords. The price of a spirit weapon is not cheap, especially a middle-grade spirit weapon, it can definitely be sold for a good price. Guest, please wait for a moment. I will go and call Pavilion Master Z over. The attendant hastily ran up to look for Pavilion Master Z. After a short moment, a purple-clothed young lady quickly walked down from the second floor. She was Pavilion Master Z, Ziyue. Ziyue came over, she is beautiful, in her early 20s, she is already the Pavilion Master of Rain Pavilion, it is really hard to tell. She saw the 10 middle-grade spirit swords inserted on the ground, her eyes suddenly lit up. Very good, 10 middle-grade spirit swords, are you going to sell them to us? You can say that, but I am more happy to see you lower the price a little bit, to compete with Wind Pavilion. I can provide the spirit weapon, I can forge it, as for the price, of course, lower than Wind Pavilion is good. When the time comes, the price will also be decided by you, but I can ask for a little less, as long as you provide the materials, I will forge, and you are responsible for suppressing the price, how about it? It seems that this is not a good deal, but for Yi Tianyun, this is the best deal. With their competitive relationship, he can continue to use these materials to forge weapons, not only can he gain experience, but he can also complete the quest, why not? It seems that Gongzi has a grudge against Wind Pavilion. Ziyue smiled. Almost, how about it, are you willing to accept this business? Yi Tianyun looked at her and smiled. Of course, we are happy to. Ziyue's almond-shaped eyes narrowed slightly. Although she was young, she already had a plan in mind. And Ling and Qin Shui looked at each other. What's going on? Why did they suddenly make trouble? Two senior sisters, please help me. Please follow ninth young lady to bring her brother here to detoxify the poison. I can't leave right now. Of course, Yi Tianyun didn't forget about this matter. Originally, she wanted to find her brother immediately after buying the things, but now it seemed impossible. She could only ask them to help. No problem. Let's go now. The two senior sisters nodded and brought Zhu Lingyun with them. Since Zhu Lingyun's younger brother was poisoned, they couldn't neglect this matter. While they were preparing, Wind Pavilion was safe and sound. Except for the previous episode, there was no big problem. Humph, fight with me. I'll make sure your Jade Palace won't be able to buy anything here. Master Kong coldly snorted, feeling very angry, thinking of being kicked and humiliated before. He certainly can't swallow this anger. His eyes are a bit more murderous, thinking about how to get rid of this Yi Tianyun, for his own revenge. Master Kong, it seems that Jade Palace provoked you. This is their fault. According to the situation of Jade Palace, in the absence of their own blacksmith, the demand for weapons is relatively difficult. Most of them come here to find a blacksmith. It seems that they provoked you. It's really not a very rational behavior. Pavilion Lord Liang flattered Master Kong. Master Kong is young. In the future, there is no problem for him to become a 4th or 5th level blacksmith, so Pavilion Lord Liang is willing to offend Jade Palace. Just as they were chatting happily, a guard rushed in from the outside. He even bumped into a teacup on the table at the side, causing it to fall and shatter with a peng sound. What's the situation? Don't you know it's impolite? Pavilion Lord Liang frowned. Pavilion Lord Liang, this Rain Pavilion began to sell middle-grade spirit tool at 10,000 silver lower than ours. The guard hurriedly said. What? Pavilion Lord Liang and Master Kong both stood up in shock, feeling that all this is so incredible. Are they crazy? Lower than 10,000 silver? This is almost equal to less than half a low-grade spirit tool. They want to lose money. Pavilion Lord Liang was shocked. This, it seems to be the idea of an employer. Let Rain Pavilion help sell, suddenly pull our source of customers. The guard said. An employer's idea. Which employer is so generous, willing to sell at such a low price? Pavilion Lord Liang calmly said. It seems to be the one who was driven out by you before. The guard said. What? Pavilion Lord Liang was dumbfounded again, and said solemnly, how can it be him? Isn't he from Jade Palace? How can he sell spirit tools? Jade Palace doesn't have many spirit tools. How can he sell at such a low price? What is this? If he is forced by us. This is definitely forced by us. That's why he did this. Let's see how many spirit tools he can sell. When he sells them out, won't the rest of the customers come to him? Master Kong stuttered, because he knows that Yi Tianyun can refine tools. If he does this, they really can't do anything. He only hopes that Yi Tianyun can't continue, and finally retreat. This is possible. If he is forced by us, he wants to use the power of Rain Pavilion to suppress us. Pavilion Lord Liang sneered, that's too naive. We will send people to buy their low-price spirit tools. We will make a profit. Immediately they ordered people to buy those spirit tools, but soon they were sold out. But not long after, another batch of spirit tools was released, still lower than this price. Pavilion Lord Liang immediately sent people to buy them, but not long after, another batch of spirit tools came out, and a dozen spirit tools came out, as if out of thin air. How can there be more? Did Rain Pavilion sell their own spirit tools at a low price? Pavilion Lord Liang frowned, feeling that something is wrong. If they do this, isn't it the behavior of a fool? Chapter 26. At first, Wind Pavilion thought that Rain Pavilion was just a temporary way to attract customers, but later they found that more and more spirit tools were sold, and more customers were attracted. Originally, they wanted to buy spirit tools from them, but now they are running to Rain Pavilion like crazy. Although the price is not much, but at least it is cheap. Obviously there is a cheap spirit tool, but to buy expensive spirit tools, isn't this the behavior of a fool? Rain Pavilion has become very lively. Ziyue has been smiling from ear to ear. This result is far beyond her expectations. Yi Tianyun is like a god that descended from the sky, helping them to attract a lot of customers and improve their performance. Pavilion Master Z, this time the headquarters will definitely recognize your position. The elder next to her also smiled from ear to ear. Ziyue smiled and nodded, looking at the distance where Yi Tianyun is constantly refining spirit tools. She sighed. This is all thanks to Yi Gongzi. He came to help me in this most difficult time, although he is using our strength to suppress Wind Pavilion, but this is exactly what we need. Now we only need to continue to prepare materials for Yi Gongzi. All of a sudden some of the unnecessary materials are cleared, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The most important thing is that Yi Gongzi has never failed. This level is too amazing. Ordinary blacksmiths will more or less have a chance of failure. The elder next to her echoed. At this time, Yi Tianyun's materials are almost finished, when he finished refining the last spirit tool. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun, beginner forging mastery, upgraded to intermediate forging mastery. At this time, he was excited. It means that he can now forge high-grade spirit tools, or even the best spirit tools. Beginner forging mastery is equivalent to the level of 3rd grade blacksmith in this world. Intermediate forging mastery is not equal to 5th grade, or master level. It can only be equivalent to the level of 4th grade blacksmith, with a higher success rate of forging mid-grade and high-grade spirit tools, among which there is a chance to forge the best spirit tool. With similar materials, or a little more materials, you can forge a higher grade spirit tool, which means the price is higher. It was just that the difficulty had increased. As expected of a high-tier spiritual artifact, the failure rate has dropped to 50%, and the success rate of a supreme-tier spiritual artifact is only 10%. Yi Tianyun shook his head. However, it was still better than his previous standard. The success rate of forging a top-tier spiritual artifact was 0. At this time, An Ling and Qin Shui accompanied Zhu Lingyun and her brother. Her brother was about 7 or 8 years old. He seemed to be still in a coma and did not wake up. Young Master Yi, he is my brother, please save him. Zhou Lingyun's eyes were red as she knelt down and begged Yi Tianyun to save her brother. Yi Tianyun supported her and said in a low voice, "Let me see his condition." He came to the side of the stretcher and examined her brother. He found that he was indeed poisoned. It is estimated that he was bitten by a poisonous snake. Now the poison has flowed into his meridians and completely mixed with the blood. It is extremely serious. "Sister, you are back." At this time, her brother slowly woke up. He tried to open his eyes and looked at her with a smile on his face. "I seem to have dreamed that I went to the river to play with sister. We went to the mountains to pick wild fruits. Those wild fruits are so sweet, so sweet. Yes, you will get better soon. When the time comes, we will go to pick wild fruits together." Her nose was sour, and tears welled up in her eyes. And Ling and the others' eyes were also red. They were touched by this scene. The deep love between siblings was like this. Don't worry, the detoxification pill can indeed save your brother, but there is a way to get rid of the poison faster and easier. Immediately, Yi Tianyun's hand emerged the immortal fire. Under the eyes of everyone, he pushed it into her brother's body. Zhu Lingyun's eyes widened. She opened her mouth wanting to say something, but no words came out. Wasn't this flame used to refine tools? How could it be pushed into her brother's body? But she did not stop it. Because in her heart, she chose to believe in Yi Tianyun. When this flame was pushed into her brother's body, the poison in his body began to be quickly cleaned up. The black spots on his body began to fade. This detoxification speed is quite amazing. The poison is beginning to disappear. It's gone. After they saw this, they exclaimed. In just a moment, under this immortal fire, the poison in her brother's body was completely cleaned up. The detoxification speed is really amazing. It is even faster than taking those pills. "Sister, I feel much better." Her brother's spirit suddenly became better. Although he can't get up and walk, at least he will not continue to be unconscious. He can wake up and communicate. That's good, that's good. When Zhu Lingyun saw that her brother's spirit was a lot better, she happily covered her mouth, and tears kept falling. Yi Tianyun also helped to adjust his body, making his condition slightly better. Only then did he put away the flame in his hand. He shook his head and said, "Fortunately, the poison is relatively light. Otherwise, he would have died." Fortunately, Zhu Lingyun met him. Otherwise, her brother would have died without a doubt. Without money to buy detoxification pills, how could he get rid of the poison? Zi Yuwei, who was watching from the side, her beautiful eyes flashed with surprise. She did not expect that Yi Tianyun would have this kind of ability. Generally, this was an ability that only alchemists could use. How could he do it? There is only one possibility: he can also refine pills. Thank you, young Master Yi. In this life, I am willing to be young Master Yi's slave for the rest of my life. I will serve young Master Yi. Zhu Lingyun knelt down again, but Yi Tianyun helped her up. You don't have to thank me. It was just a small effort. Yi Tianyun smiled indifferently. At this time, a ding sound rang in his mind. The reward was issued, increasing his experience and character. Pavilion Master Zi, please give them a guest room so that they can rest. Yi Tianyun said. That's no problem. I will arrange it for them. Zi Yuwei hurriedly gestured for them to help arrange it. Yi Tianyun is now their savior. Of course, this kind of thing is allowed. While they were making arrangements, Yi Tianyun went back to refine the spirit weapon again. When he was ready to try refining the high-grade spirit weapon, he suddenly discovered an extremely important thing: the success rate has increased. Originally, the high-grade spirit weapon's success rate was 50%. Suddenly, it became 55%, a slight increase of half.